girl, when we in New York, Central Park is your favorite. Out in LA, season tickets for the Lakers. Hold on tight, girl, let's see where this will take us. Top notch exec, you're your own money maker. And when we hit the A, sundown with the top down. From Phipps to Lenox, hit the W, Midtown drinks. My place, sit by the fireplace. Champagne and grapes, both hands round your waist. Gloves and crispin, ashamed in the graveyards, a playground for children. You know the gang bang, bloods and crib.
Hey yo, good morning. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a fantastic, freaky, funny football Friday. And oh boy, we got a lot of great things planned for you today, as we do every single day. Shout out and good morning to all of the Stewies. Yeah, you hear this in the background? My man Spectac and Shakim, which I'll tell you more about them in a second, man. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show, man. If you are new to the Doug Stewart Show, trust me, you have made an incredible decision in your life. We have more fun around here than you can shake a stick at. Trust me. So we talk sports, we talk entertainment, we talk about anything that everybody is talking about in this world, whether you're in the barbershop, in your basement, or under the shade tree if you're from the country, wherever you may be, at your water cooler, at your job, all right? So we get into sports. Obviously, that's the foundation of the show. But once again, we do a bunch of other things. Today, we're going to get into some NFL talk, obviously, being a fantastic, freaky, funny football Friday. We'll also talk some college football, and we'll kind of recap the big stories from this past week. But we also have some great interviews set up for you today, man. An incredible day. I think this is our 4th episode. Is it, Rob? Right. Okay, so my production guy, Rob, at the mothership in D.C., Maryland. Is it Maryland, Baltimore, D.C.? One of them places. He says, yes, this is the 4th episode. So we've been up in our game every single week. So this week, we got 3 interviews set up for you, man. We are going to talk to Howard Bryant, ESPN columnist. He used to be a contributor on the Sports Reporters for many years on ESPN. Very, very deep brother. So we're going to talk to Howard Bryant and get his thoughts on Anthem, NFL protests, and Donald Trump and all of that stuff, all right? We're also going to talk to, very excited about this. Very excited about this, man. We're also going to talk to my man, 100 grand, DJ Shakim. That's right, DJ Shakim, classmate of mine. I've been knowing this guy for like 25 years. I actually gave him his first job. We'll talk about that later. No lie. But this cat's done a bunch of big things in the industry, man. He was the DJ for So So Def for a couple of years. And for like the last decade, Shakim has been the DJ for New Edition. So we're going to talk to DJ Shakim. He had an album come out a couple of years ago. Once again, I mentioned it earlier with him and this rapper Spectac. Phenomenal stuff. So we're going to talk about him, about the industry, about his travels with New Edition. I'm sure he's seen a bunch of crazy things touring with them dudes, Bobby Brown and whatnot, as well as his album that he came out with a couple of years ago with MC Spectac. And also at the end of today's show, it is a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. We have the unofficial comedian to the 2 Live Stews. He's unofficial. All right, this ninja is not official. He's unofficial, but he's still our people, man. He's been doing a bunch of big things. Today, we're going to talk to Special K, comedian extraordinaire on the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. Right. So yes, that Special K that does the Ricky Smiley morning show Monday through Friday here in Atlanta, and syndicated nationally. So Special K, a.k.a. Black Tony, is going to join us today on the show as well. We got to give out the Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond. We call it the Boiled Peanuts Award. It's a long story on how we came up with the name. But we actually had nominees taken and given all week long. And we compiled the list, and we actually have a little poll in the Doug Stewart Show Facebook chat group where you can go and vote. So your nominees for Buster of the Week this week are Ray Lewis, former Baltimore Ravens linebacker. Yeah. Ray Lewis knelt for the protest in the NFL, but then he didn't kneel, or he did, or he didn't mean that. He was praying. He was doing a bunch of different things. So y'all nominated Ray Lewis. Rick Pitino has been nominated, head coach of the Louisville Cardinals, or used to be head coach of the Louisville Cardinals. You've heard about this big scandal in college basketball where these agents and these players and high school coaches and college coaches have been paying cats behind closed doors under the table. We know this has been going on forever, but they got him now. And Rick Pitino's name has come up already. He's been put on administrative leave by the University of Louisville. So Rick Pitino's been nominated, and this stuff is not new. I mean, Rick Pitino knows what's going on. Rick Pitino knows about his coaches paying players, and Rick Pitino knew about them holes up in the door. You think he didn't when he did? Yeah, so Rick Pitino's nominated. Odell Beckham Jr. for mimicking taking a crap on the field or something like that. Just not classy at all. Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver for the New York Giants. And Dwayne Wade was nominated for a Boy Penis Award. I actually threw his name in there myself personally. The reason why I threw his name in there to get a nomination or possibly be this week's Buster of the Week in sports entertainment and beyond, and you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You never in your life have seen a black man give back $8.5 million, but Dwayne Wade gave back $8.5 million to the Chicago Bulls. Are you kidding? Yeah, he gave back $8.5 million to the Bulls so he can go play with his girlfriend. His boyfriend, LeBron James. All right, so we got that coming up today as well. This weekend is TDSS3, big anniversary for the show, the 3-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show. So we're going to be talking about that all day long today. We actually have a big meet and greet tonight at 617 Cigar Social Club, downtown ATL. So if you're watching this stream right now, the Doug Stewart Show, come on down there around 8 o'clock, man. 3 years we've been doing this show, man, and they said it would not last, but it has. Praise his holy name. Praise it. Yeah, praise his holy name. Yeah. So downtown tonight, man, we got a big cookout tomorrow and a big tailgate on Saturday as the Buffalo Bills come to town to take on the Atlanta Falcons at the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Hey, you can call the show as well. You can be a part of the show. This is the most interactive sports and guy talk show in America. You can call the show at 404-822-5467. That's 404-822-5467. And once again, be a part of the realest, treeless sports and guy talk show in America. So, a bunch of great interviews coming up later. Once again, DJ Shakim, Howard Bryant from ESPN, and Special K comedian. When we get back from the break, let's get into the business, though. Let's talk about the big story this past week in the world of sports, entertainment, and beyond. And y'all know what it is. It's all about 45. Yeah. 45 just throwing gas all on the fire. So we'll talk about it when we get back from the break. That's your big story of the week. Once again, we'll take phone calls if we got them at 404-822-5467 and do what we do around here. Have a lot of fun on this Friday, all right? A lot of fun. Yeah, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and we'll be back. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show on Facebook and YouTube Live. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I won't let you go.
You know when you say you love me, I say I love you more. Just call when you need me, girl, and I'll be sure. They say it's half empty, you say it's half full. Your hair's all natural, you're my little rascal, but weak with your afro. Stress-free, no hassle, so much better than a lot of these assholes. Life pleasures, share them right now and forever. How clever, just you and me together. Chicks be sweating like they just did Pilates. All the fellas wanna kick it like they just did karate. Your body's the hottest with the mind of a goddess. Always remain modest, never make a fake promise. Caribbean trips take you down to St. Thomas, Negril, Jamaica, Nassau, Bahamas. Whoever said that we gotta take it slow, girl, knowing what I know, I'll never let you go. Girl, when we in New York, Central Park is your favorite. Out in LA, season tickets for the Lakers. Hold on tight, girl, let's see where this'll take us. Top notch exec, you're your own money maker. And when we hit the A, sundown with the top down. From Phipps to Lenox, hit the W, Midtown drinks. My place, sit by the fireplace. Champagne and grapes, both hands round your waist. I wouldn't be a man if you didn't feel safe. It's your eyes, it's your thighs, it's the smile on your face. That other guy cashed out and I cashed in. Now he's a past tense, has been ever since. No looking back now, it's just looking forward. To family, friends, things way more important. Whoever said that we had to take it slow, girl, knowing what I know, I'll never let you go. But now we fight our own brothers like there's no tomorrow. You know the gang blood.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a fantastic Freaky Funny Football Friday. Shouts out to all of the Stewies and the Stewettes and the dogs and the poodles in town for the Doug Stewart Show anniversary. Trey, that's right, the third year that we've been doing this show, man, and talking sports and guy talk like nobody else in America. Shouts out to a couple of people that contributed to the show on last week and actually throughout the week. Shouts out to Kevin J. Shouts out to Sharice H., Tiffany H., Tyrone B., Kurt W., Ray G., Maynard D., Gerald D., and Terrell C. See, I did that right last week. I kept giving people government names, and people were mad at me. Yeah. They're like, man, look here, man. Don't call up my government name. I got warrants. And so shouts out to all those people that contributed to the show last week. We actually have a way that you can donate/contribute to the Doug Stewart Show so that we can keep this fine program going. There's a lot of expenses that go into this. We only do this one day a week. We normally do an audio show on the DougStewartShow.com or on TwoLiveStewsRadio.com. So that's Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So Friday, we go all out with the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live show. So you'll see a graphic how you can donate/contribute to the show, man. Anything that you can shoot us, man, will be greatly appreciated. Whether that's $5, $10, $50, $50,000, $500,000, we'll take it. No, we will. Now listen, let me tell you why I gotta say that. Let me tell you why I gotta say that, man. Don't underestimate people. I've learned that in my life. Do not judge a book by its cover. Like, there might be some type of oil baron listening to the show right now and loves the vibe and loves this real sports talk. It's like, hey, Alfred, write that Negro a check for $500,000. Right. So what? Yeah, if you got it like that, we will definitely take it. Trust me, my man Rob Hix says, man, bring it on. We will take it all. Blind, cripple, or crazy. Afflicted, it don't even matter. We will take the money, man, to keep this show going on, all right? Yeah. Hey, so the big story this week in the world of sports and entertainment was Trump calls the NFL players sons of bitches. I laugh so I don't cry, man. So this thing went down. Most of you know this. Once again, this is a recap talking about the biggest sports story. And really, this doesn't have anything to do with what happened on a field or on a basketball court or anything like that. But I'm sure you've heard. Donald Trump this past weekend at a rally in Alabama, go figure, at a rally in Alabama for some of his base supporters, said that NFL owners should fire NFL players that protested social injustice and jumped on the bandwagon with the Colin Kaepernick protest started a year ago. And he says, quote, they should fire those sons of bitches and take away their jobs in the NFL if they continue to protest and, as he puts it, disrespect our flag. And I actually had a real big week with this, and I knew I would. Whenever something like this comes on or happens in sports and beyond, They always call me and my brother. They'll call the black guy in sports. And so I actually did a hit on HLN this past week on TV and talked about this. And the main thing, I'm so far past, this whole protest, and, it's become, kind of cliche almost. And someone made a fantastic comment, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Somebody made an incredibly accurate comment on Twitter a week ago. One of my listeners, quoted them saying that this NFL protest has become like the ice bucket challenge. Right. Like, we have totally lost the purpose and the words that Colin Kaepernick spoke when he first started this over a year ago in preseason in the NFL. It was to bring awareness to and start a conversation about social injustice in this country, which I think most people can agree that there's been some issues over the last couple of years in particular, being caught on videotape, and we can go through the names over and over and over again where unarmed black men are being or have been killed by the police unmercifully. And so that's what it was all about. Now it seems like it's all about, well, I should do it, and I'm going against Donald Trump, and I'm going to show him, and I do want to support Colin Kaepernick, but I don't want to offend anybody. And so I'm going to clench arms, and I'm going to kneel before the anthem, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. So it's become trivial. And that's sad because, once again, as I remind people every chance that I get, and I think the NFL players don't do a good job of this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, this is about police brutality. This is about Eric Garner getting choked to death and dying. This is about Philando Castile. This is about Alton Sterling. This is about Walter Scott in Charleston. This is about Anthony Smith in St. Louis, Missouri. This is about Anthony Hill here in Atlanta, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. The names go on and on and on and on. And it seems like that a lot of times in this type of situation, man, people just don't want to understand. They don't want to hear the other side. They don't want to try to talk and get to the bottom of how people are feeling, which is very sad. So Donald Trump kind of, ignited a fire under a lot of players who didn't take part in the protest before, which is crazy to me, because if you didn't take part in the protest before, if you didn't feel like that you should support Colin Kaepernick before, you trying to make a point to Donald Trump to 45, to me, is besides the point. I mean, it defeats the purpose. And so, this thing really right now is just out of control. The track is definitely off the rail, per se. And just real crazy. What I'm going to talk to Howard Bryant today about is where he thinks this thing is going. Like, it's, once again, so cliche right now to drop down on a knee before the game or during the game or before the anthem or at the anthem and not talk about the real issues. Like, where's this thing going to end? Like, last week, it almost felt like it hit a summit to me. And, like, now it's going to go downhill because last week was not about the original protest once again. It was about getting back at Donald Trump. I'm going to show Donald Trump that he can't talk about me and about my mama like that. And so I don't know where this thing goes, but I'm going to ask Howard Bryant about his thoughts on it. This cat is real deep. If you've never seen him before, real deep, brother, man, especially on issues like this. Very profound in his thoughts and his statements in the sports platforms across the year. So I'm very excited to talk to him and see what he has to say about this. And also want to hear what you got to say about it as well. You can call the show at 404-822-5467. That's 404-822-5467. When we go to break and come back, we'll read messages in the chat rooms on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and kind of get your thoughts about it as well. There's actually another layer that's been peeled back in this conversation with the NBA. That's right. NBA training camp started early this week. And so clearly the NBA is going to be faced with some of these same conversations. You better believe it. And I got some thoughts on what Adam Silver, the commissioner of the league, had to say about it here in a second. But I think this thing is at a point now where it's going to probably fade away because I don't think that the point of it is being displayed. And I said it when I talked about it early this week on TV, and I also did a Facebook Live on my social media account. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show and watching the Doug Stewart Show. That I almost feel like the players didn't do the protest justice and the way they respond to a lot of people saying, what's this all about? Like, a lot of people are confused about what this is about. And it's kind of got muddied in the water. My man Robert Hix says he doesn't understand. And I wish players would simply say, when they have a camera stuck in front of their face, that this is not a diss on the military. This is not a diss on our first responders. This is all about what's happened in this country over the last couple of years. This is about unarmed black men dying at the hands of some rogue, what I would call rogue police. Not all police, I feel, are in this boat. But there's no denying that some police have murdered some unarmed people over the last couple of years. And it's sad to say the least. And so I wish that would be the response from people going forward, but it really hasn't. Let me take a call. Call, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Kirk from Alpharetta. What's up, man?
Kirk from Alpharetta. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Can't complain. It's a nice Friday, man.
Yeah. What you got?
Yeah, I just want to agree with you, man. I asked my girlfriend, I was like, what do you think that, just the test, man? Because I've been listening to what you had to say about it. I was like, what do you think it's about? And she did not mention what you were talking about. And also, I looked on the website, on a particular popular website that was talking about an NFL game. And before that NFL game, they said that people were locking arms for equality. Right, and if you want to talk about something that's gone into the weeds, that is a particular issue that's gone actually into the weeds. So I totally agree with you. I think this thing started because, the summer of 2016, if you really want to take a look back, or if you want to look at the actual, from a history's perspective, 10 years from now, it was a really bad summer in regards to like how African Americans were treated by the police.
Yes, you're exactly right. And Kurt, appreciate the call. And he's exactly right. The story or the real protest has got lost in the sauce. And I don't think the NFL players have done a good enough job of conveying the message. And he's exactly right. Now the conversation is gone. If you talk to an NFL player, you hear an NFL player talk about why they're protesting, they bring up inequality. They bring up these nice words that kind of tiptoe around what the real protest is about. Well, inequality, social injustice. I personally think that you got to keep it real. Like, whenever a microphone is stuck in their face, they need to say, well, this isn't actually about anything but police brutality. In particular, have you seen the video what happened to Walter Scott in Charleston, South Carolina, where he got out of his car and ran from the police and got shot in the back 8 times? Or have you seen the video of what happened to Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old kid that was playing with a play gun, a toy gun in the park? Someone called the police, and within 5 seconds when the police rolled up, they jumped out and shot him dead. Like, they need to be blatant. They need to be, once again, very, very strong in their words. And like, I think it's almost like people feel uncomfortable about talking about this, but I think that's the point where it comes from, or where we should be going. And also, the other part of the narrative that I think has been lost is the point of it was for change. We're talking about police reform. We're talking about policy changes, procedural changes in our country. That's what this is all about. And a lot of people don't know that. And once again, I don't think the NFL players have done a good enough job of relaying that message, but that's where they need to go now. Let's move on. The point of it was to get your attention, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The point of the protests were to get your attention so that we can have a conversation. That conversation should be about police reform, policy changes, procedural changes. And I don't think the players have done a good enough job of conveying that message once again. All right? Hey, yo. When we get back from the break, I'm going to jump in the chat room on Facebook Live and YouTube Live here on the Doug Stewart Show and hear what y'all got to say about this. You can also call the show, 404-822-5467. This is the realest, trillest sports and guy talk show in America. Don't go away. Back in 3 minutes.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
music had an ambiance. Heads nodding to the track like a seance. Spectac and D Divine, you know we play hard. Rock and roll to the beat, what you say, Shaw? Wet your lips really good, do a beatbox. If you really feel the urge, play some Pete Rock. No matter if it's my corner or D's block. I'm from the dirty, dirty South, but not hee-haw. A life filled with, that's what we got. And all that bullshit pop, that's what we're not. This us, there's a chance that you get got. Perp, Luck, Vandamator, Winston, and Tar. You know the rhythm have you bouncing with no regard. If Kevin Nottingham's Hammer Dorothy of hip-hop, the Renaissance is the Wizard of Oz.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
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 Well, I'm gone.
Go then.
Can I kick it? To the crews, I be getting all the papers. To the shorties that now caught the vapors. To my man Shakim on the faders. I voted for myself to be the next mayor. Rest in peace to the DJ Rock Raider. And JMJ who was fly on the tables. Catch a rack, make you wanna call Mako. Hear the bass, you can feel it in your navel. Competition gets a foot up.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back to the show. The number to the show is 404-822-5467. We had a couple people call right when we went to break. You can call back if you like. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But once again, jump in the chat room on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and post your thoughts. I'm going to read some of your comments here in a second, man. Hey, are you having some issues with your finances right now? Is your credit real crappy? Shitty? Highlight my folks at Financial Education Services, all right? KennedyDeals.com, Financial Education Services. They've got an $89 a month credit restoration plan. They include, have 12 other products as well as LifeLock, FES protection plan, Living Trust, Will, etc. They're A+ with the Better Business Bureau, man, so they're not going to lead you down the wrong path, all right? So once again, check them out at KennedyDeals.com, or you can give them a call at 404-207-6526. That's 404-207-6526, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you, okay? All right? Yeah, let me jump in this chat room on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and see what you got to say about what we talked about in the last segment with Donald Trump and the comments that he made, the divisive comments that he made this past weekend. From Ronald C., he says, 45 offered 50 Cent $500,000 to help win over black voters, but he turned it down. Wow, I didn't know that. I've never heard that story. From Spartan LD, it's been about a year, so I need Cap to come out and give the world a refresher. I agree 100%. That would be a good idea. Kaepernick has been eerily quiet throughout this whole thing. Now, I understand, and listen, you have to remember, if you go back to the very beginning, he didn't really, try to make himself the object of this big story that we've seen over the last year. He had actually done this a couple of times, and no one caught it. And then during a preseason game last year, a journalist saw him sitting on the sideline and asked him about it, and that's when we had the story. All right, so he pretty much historically has not come out and talked a lot about this. I don't think that he's ever even asked any other player to join in any protest with him as well. I think players felt obligated once they heard his reasons on why he was protesting and thought that it was the right thing to do. Sparingly, not a lot of players have joined him, but yeah, you're right. I think he needs to come out. I think it would be a good idea. You know what? I'm not going to say he needs to do this, that. A lot of people have come out and said, well, Colin Kaepernick, he needs to explain himself more. He needs to, do more. He needs to ask more players to come and help it out in the protest. He needs to ask his union to help him in the protest. He's never done that. If you really think about it, he's never done that. But I do think it would be a good idea if when players were asked this question, what is this protest all about? What exactly do you want? They don't get bogged down in the rhetoric. They don't get bogged down into these, secondary, thirdary reasons of why people feel offended by this protest. And that's what happens. They get bogged down in talking about and defending themselves in this protest. Right. And it's not about that. You're right. Just talk about the issues. Talk about police reform. Talk about the different examples of what we've seen over the last couple of years. But increasingly, we haven't seen that. We've seen guys get bogged down in the muck and the mire about, why are you doing this and explaining themselves. And it shouldn't be about that at all. 404-822-5467 from Ronald C. Herschel Walker should be added to the BPA list. He believes the NBA or the NFL should ban anthem protests agreeing with 45. Wow. Right. 45 has put out there on his Twitter account, the Twitter president, that he believes that the NFL owners should just ban it, should make it a rule. It's actually a rule in the NBA that you have to stand for the national anthem when it's played. And I'm going to talk more about the NBA here in a second. It's actually already a rule in the NBA. I don't think that they could do that now. Like, it's almost, if to do that now will be putting the genie back in the bottle. Like, they didn't have a quote unquote rule that you had to stand before. Now, if you do it now, it almost seems like you're going against the players who were called sons of bitches by the president. All right. So you have that whole thing working there. And then as well, it almost after the fact looks like that you're shunning the original protests. You feel me? Now, if they were to do that now and come out with this rule that you have to stand, which I do believe standing for the national anthem or not is your right. I mean, this is a free country. This is the First Amendment rights, once again, freedom of speech. But anyway, if they were to come out with a rule right now that players can't, not kneel, then that's bad. That's almost saying that, listen, we're against you. We're not with you. We're against you. And I don't think they can do that at this point. It's too far along. I do agree with Donald Trump on one thing. The NFL owners are in a box right now. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They are in a box right now because many of them don't want anything to do with this. We've heard all the talk about the money that they're losing because of fans being offended and, not trying to understand the message that these players have been trying to get out. And the owners don't know what to do right now. Many of them probably agree with the fans, the majority of these fans. And it's a tough place right now. It's a very tough place right now. And I, for one, am very interested to see how this thing ends up down the road and how it continues. And if anything actually comes from this protest, man, real coming from this protest. From Emmett Bean, I think doing post-game interviews, they should bring up the issues too. Answer all questions in the manner. The movement in the NFL has been gentrified. And I agree 100%. It's kind of echoing the same comments that I made a little bit earlier. And they have to talk about the issues. It's uncomfortable for a lot of people. A lot of people don't feel the repercussions of the conversation and what we've been talking about over the last couple of years. So they may not understand. They may not get it. Right. But when you're talking about a family member, imagine being the family member of Sandra Bland, getting stopped with a busted taillight and ends up dead. Imagine being the family of Eric Garner. And this people that are still on the fence or don't agree with the protests and think that they're trying to disrespect the military, listen to the examples I'm giving. Imagine if your family member was Eric Garner, who was selling cigarettes on the street. He had done it before, actually knew the police that tried to subdue him. Imagine if you're the family of Eric Garner in New York selling loose cigarettes and you end up dying. Imagine if you're Alton Sterling selling CDs, you know, breaking the law, I guess, in some manner, petty as it may seem, and you end up dying. Like a broken taillight and selling CDs or selling cigarettes or running from the police shouldn't be a death sentence. And I think any reasonable person can agree with that. Okay, let's start there. I think reasonable people, if you may not understand the point of the protest, or you don't get the point of the protest, and how dare these people disrespect the national anthem, which they told you 1,000 times that's not what they're doing. So many times that it's incredible. Imagine losing a family member like that, a father, a brother, you know, a mother in Sandra Bland, a child in Tamir Rice. Imagine losing a family member for something as trivial and petty as cigarettes or a busted taillight. And that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And this country has always been a country where protest has been prominent, especially for black people. I mean, there's no way around it. Like, we would not be in the place we are in right now, man, if we didn't have civil protests. And so if you didn't know, man, I am 100% for these protests, for the original reason for the protests. I wish the players would do a better job, but I am 100% on board for what they are attempting to do. Right. Right. Curtis B says, awesome and on point take, Doug. 45 has created a deflection from the original purpose of the protest. Also, you hit a home run on HLN and see you tonight at 617. Yeah, shouts out to my man, Kurt B. So tonight is going down. Tonight is going down. 617 Cigar Social Club, downtown ATL, TDSS3. A lot of my folks are already in town. Daily listeners to the Doug Stewart Show, man. It's going to be crazy tonight, man. Can't wait to see all of the biggest supporters of the show from the last couple of years. Drink a little something, smoke a little something. We're going to have a good time. Hey, man, if you like to donate to the show or you like to advertise with the show, like my folks at FES, you can do it. All right? Email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let's talk some business. All right? Hey, if you don't have a couple of shillings to donate to the show or contribute to the show, hit the share button. Like, that's almost, not quite, but that's almost as important as sending me 25 grand. Once again, let me turn the music down for a second. If you send me 25 grand, man, that will fix a lot of things wrong in my life. Yes, sir. We can make this show the biggest show in the world. Shouty. All right? So, yeah, click on the little contribute button, man. Safe and secure through PayPal, and help out the Doug Stewart Show. All right? And if you want to advertise with us, email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We're going to get you set. All right? When we get back from the break, man, let's talk about the NBA side of this protest thing. All right? And I'll read more of your messages, take more of your phone calls at 404-822-5467. 404-822-5467. Back in 3 minutes. Don't go away.
Champagne and grapes, both hands round your waist. Yeah. Hey, yo, Cheesy, what's good, kid? We're gonna get this started right. I'm feeling this. Yeah. Hey, yo, this whole world is backwards. Rich kids flipping their taxes. Republicans, they dropping their axes. Latinos denied their access. And little black boys in the hood, damn, we so ass backwards. Ask Iverson, this just practice. Fuck around, we'll be right back when every black had masters. And I ain't talking about degrees, you damn bastards. Talking about chains and whips and slave ships. Overseas trips, no frequent mileage. But we feel good cause we graduated college. But did we apply the knowledge? If all we can come up with is love and hip-hop and this garbage, Kardashian her ass again. Not a real fake ass, just ass injections. But that's how we do, just ask your fake friends. Hit the gym like Kim, then chase the black men. Hard to swallow, take these facts in. AIDS still killing us, they got a vaccine. The prison ain't full enough, they got us back in. But you're so stupid, you fall for that again. Believe me, this is done by design. How can we run so fast and be so far behind? So close to dying, so hard we stop trying. Black president still got major problems. We used to fight the power march cause the right was ours, but now we fight our own brothers like there's no tomorrow. You know they gang bang, bloods and crippin'. A shame when the graveyard's a playground for children. You know they gang bang, bloods and crippin'. A shame when the graveyard's a playground for children. Shit. Let's ride out, kid. This industry got me gassed up, Chef Raw.
Yo, welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show on this fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday, man. We got a couple of guests lined up for you. We're going to talk to Howard Bryant from ESPN. Real deep brother, man, about this anthem protest stuff. We'll also talk to DJ Shakim. That's right, DJ for New Edition for like the last decade. And my South Carolina State folk, fellow alumni from the university. As well as at the end of today's show, we're going to talk to comedian Special K, the unofficial comedian to the Two Live Stews, and now the official, partner of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. All right. There's that real hip hop in the background. Shouts out to Spectac.
So colorful, so bright,
and Shakim.
full of life. I just might go out tonight if I'm still feeling right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, man, if you're an artist, an independent artist, man, you want to get some love and get your tracks played on the Doug Stewart Show every Friday, or once a show, one time on a Friday show, is probably a better way to say it. Then email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and give me authorization to play your music and send me your tracks, and we are good. Can I get the mothership to turn down a little bit? The volume. There we go. And so if you are an artist or you're a manager or somebody like that, man, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and send me your music in MP3 format and say, yeah, you can go ahead and use the music on your show. And like we were doing with Shakim and Spectac today on the show, we did it last week with Dynasty. Phenomenal. Usually we try to play that new / old school hip hop. So these are new tracks, but they got kind of that old school hip hop feel to it. I'm not a big fan of the mumble rap and all of that shit. We got to fix this phone situation. But caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Angry black man calling from I-75.
Angry black man on I-75. First of all, before we even get into your conversation, why are you so damn angry?
Hey, man, you've been seeing what's happening with this protest and these crazy bar owners. The guy up in Milwaukee area, the owner said they should shoot all the people that took a knee, all the NFL players.
Wow, I haven't heard that. Wow. I haven't heard that. When did that happen?
Yeah, I'll send it to you on Twitter. It happened about 2 days ago, man. I'll send it to you once I get settled in Atlanta.
Okay, so Angry Black Man is on his way to Atlanta for TDSS3. Thank you, brother. Can't wait to see you tonight. We're going to get it in. I mean, I don't know if you're ready, man, but we're going to celebrate. I'm planning on drinking at least 14 shots of something tonight. I got Uber.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
I got Uber.
I'm ready. I got Chief Rocker and Jay Fish. They said they're going to get on the Tennessee with me, so it's going down, man.
That's what's up, man. My man, Angry Black Man. I don't understand why he's so damn angry, but that's him. And he's on his way to Atlanta right now, coming from Florida up straight up 75. Can't wait to see all of the listeners, all of the supporters, the Stewies, the dogs, the poodles, whatever you may be. Thank you. I'll see you tonight. 617 Cigar Social Club. Hey, so quickly, man, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said Thursday he expects players to stand for the national anthem, which is a league rule. That's right. He wants them to remain active in their communities and take part in what can be difficult discussions, but he says they understand it's important to show respect for the flag. Silver didn't say what would happen if any players refuse to stand, adding, if that were to happen, we'll deal with it when it happens. So what that means, if you read between the lines, he is praying that shit don't happen. Right. More succinctly, he is praying that one of the faces of the league doesn't do this. He is praying that LeBron James doesn't get down on a knee. He is praying that Kyrie Irving doesn't do this, or one of the upper echelon players. God forbid Steph Curry got down on a knee. Oh my Lord, everybody go crazy. Everybody would go crazy. You know me, I like to push the issue. I like controversy. I'd love to see LeBron James take part in it. Now, listen, LeBron James has been very vocal about his displeasure with 45. And LeBron has, on social issues, man, been very, very clear, once again, on his thoughts about what's been going on in this country. Unlike a lot of former professional athletes, or athletes today for that matter. I mean, Michael Jordan always gets a lot of, static from the community that he's never used his platform for any type of change. And Michael Jordan's whole thing, you remember when they asked him, his thoughts on whatever the issue was, and he was talking about his sneakers. He says, well, Republicans buy sneakers too. And a lot of people in the black community didn't like that. But hey, it is what it is. I almost feel like that if you don't want to give commentary and people really don't know what your heart is, that's fine. And Michael Jordan, through philanthropic efforts throughout his life, has shown that he cares about the community. That being said, that comment rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. LeBron James is the total opposite of that. Right. So let me ask y'all this. If LeBron James takes a knee at the start of the first game of the season while they're playing the anthem, what are they going to do? They're going to suspend LeBron James? What? Seriously, what are they going to do? What do they do? If LeBron James were to take a knee in support of this protest and, once again, of the real issues that this country has been having over the last couple of years, what are they going to do? What's Adam Silver going to do? That's why Adam Silver is real kind of blasé as far as what they would do or what they wouldn't do, because he's just leaving it out there to public opinion and, once again, praying that none of these players do it. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, the league doesn't the season doesn't start for probably a month or so. They play preseason games, but it's right around the corner. So that's going to be very interesting, to say the least. 404-822-5467. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. In the next segment, when we're going to talk a little bit about the other big story this week, and that's Rick Pitino, head coach at Louisville. Been suspended now because of these allegations of paying players and coaches taking bribes and all of that stuff. And once again, Rick Pitino's program always comes under the spotlight magically. He says he has no idea what's been going on at all. I don't know shit. I don't know shit. You a Mickey Ficky lie. You a Mickey Ficky lie. You knew good and well what was going on. You probably got like 3 or 4 buffers between you and the actual money. I get that. That's smart. But they used to say this all the time. a lack of institutional control. And whether Rick Pitino, in situations like this historically, whether Rick Pitino, the coach, or say in general, the coach knew or not, the NCAA historically has said, your ass should have known. Okay? Right. You should have known that your coaches were taking bribes and paying out players to come to your school. You should have known. You should have known that they was having holes up in the dorm all times of the night. You should have known. That's why we find you, because you should have known. Well, you didn't know, but you should have known. And I've been railing against Rick Pitino and his boy Cal's because I just think that they've really just flown under the radar, man, for so long. And everybody know what it is. But we'll talk about it a little bit more in the next segment. 404-822-5467. You can also email me at doug@dougstewartshow.com. Let me read a couple of little messages in the chat on YouTube as well as Facebook Live from, who do we have? Emmett Bean. I think during post-game interviews, they should bring up the issues. Wow. I agree. I agree with that 100%. I think I may have already read that message a little bit earlier. From, who do we have here? Cornelia Small. Herschel needs to focus on his son's cheerleading. Really, man, was that necessary to bring up the fact that Herschel Walker's son is a cheerleader? Just because he's a guy and he's a cheerleader doesn't mean that he's a bad person or he swings the other way. And if he did swing the other way, that's his business. Come on, sir. Come on, sir. Live and let live. I mean, if he swings the other way, that's his business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay? It's neither here nor there. From Kesey I, he says, kaboom, guess who stepped up in the video room? What up, Kesey? What up? So, the guy's name that I just read is K.I. I don't want to give his name because he has a very unique name, and if his boss is listening right now, his boss probably knows who it is. But he actually has a show on the Two Live Shoes radio network. We have several shows on the network. The Kicking It with K show, the number one Chief Rocker Vern from Jersey show, the Cooking with the Microwave show. We have several shows all throughout the week. We have a show for Black college football. We have a Saturday show, a couple of Saturday shows as well, a couple of nighttime shows as well on the number 2 livestewsradio.com. That's the number 2 livestewsradio.com. My brother, if you're new to this show, my brother actually does a show every Thursday as well, the Ryan Stewart Show. Yeah. That's right.
We're going to do now.
So the Ryan Stewart Show comes on every Thursday at 1 p.m. Once again at 2livestewsradio.com. All right, 2livestewsradio.com. When we get back from the break, man, it will be hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Things just moving along like they normally do, having more fun than you can shake a stick at. Yes, sir. Yeah. So what we're going to do is take a quick little break. And then when we get back, we'll get into the chat and maybe talk a little bit more about Rick Pitino. Hey, don't forget, man, if you're one of the everyday listeners, go to the Two Live Shoes Radio Facebook chat group and cast your vote, as well as the Doug Stewart Show chat group and cast your vote for Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond. Your nominees are Ray Lewis, Rick Pitino, Odell Beckham Jr., as well as Dwayne Wade. Those are your nominees. How the hell you give back $8 million? You crazy? You could have given that money to me. Yeah. So don't go away. Back in 3 minutes. The Doug Stewart Show.
The love bug star ski, busy. Yeah.
That I will really
Yeah. Let's go. With this mic, I'm ready to behead you. Fuck around, dead you. Tell me who said you. Had it going on like me, nephew. Long time coming, y'all. Sorry I kept you. So out of space, sign me to the Neptunes. Rappers I battle, send them cars, get well soon. Black Avenger, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. I'm so incredible. Call your audible, confuse your defense. Change up the sequence at the line of scrimmage. 2-minute warning, your team is finished. I'm just warming up, a shame, ain't it? I paint pictures of past times, Da Vinci, Renaissance MC, bigger than the Sistine. I'm pristine with my flow, kick scream cause they know my team's about to blow.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. The place to be. The place to be.
With this beat, defeat you and beat you. Translucent rapper made the game so see-through. I speak Hebrew, we teach my peoples. Once we was kings and queen, no one equal. Now it's a peep show, minstrels is deep, yo. Calling women bitches and hoes, we still sleep, bro. The Black Justice League, Martian Manhunter, Superman, Batman, Robin, and Wonder Woman. Call your audible, confuse your offense. Change up the sequence at the line of scrimmage. Ice your kicker, who's nice as me, nigga? Been at it since Jigger, back at it 6 figures. I paint pictures of past time, Douglas, Harlem Renaissance, Negro life, it's aspects. I'm pristine with my flow, kick scream cause they know my team's about to blow.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be.
Black ass nasty Vikings, known for fighting despite the fact some don't like them. Not known for writing, freestyling was his way to hype him. Pied Piper with the mic for an item. That KY jelly flow that keeps on gliding. Fans say they love it how he gets inside them. He and Shakim like Obama and Biden. Riding airwaves like Poseidon. Bringing them seas up out of hiding. The art form's dying. What other things are you trying? Still lying? The drugs, the guns, the street life, the sirens. I take pictures of these times. Mr. T, Urban Art 75013. I'm pristine with my flow. Kick scream cause they know my team's about to blow.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be.
Chose the ladder, bitches and hoes matter.
Yeah.
Physically, financially. And now it's boys like that, popping the plea deal. We're on top of 3 hot meals. I mean, the
DJ Shakim is spectacular. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, as a matter of fact, in 15 minutes, we're going to talk to Howard Bryant, ESPN columnist. Very deep, brother. Trust me, you'll see. If you don't know who Howard Bryant is, you will see. This cat got it going on, man, as far as these types of issues and conversations, man. So stay tuned. Howard Bryant coming up in about 15 minutes. We're also going to, at the bottom of the hour, talk to DJ Shakim. At around in hour number 3, we call it the Power Hour. We'll holler at my man, Special K, unofficial comedian, to the 2 Live Stews and to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, quickly, before I jump back and read some of your messages in the chat room, do not forget, man, you can donate. There's a little button that says, shows you how to contribute to the show. Contribute anything that you can, man. We're trying to keep this thing going with better production, all better, everything, and give you more for what you asked for. So hit the little contribute button. We really would appreciate it. I definitely give you a shouts out to everybody that's donated and contributed over the last couple of weeks. Kevin J, Sharice H, Tiffany H, Tyrone B, Courtney W, Ray G, Maynard D, Gerald D, and Terrell C. Thank you very much, man. Really, really do appreciate it. I can't say thank you enough. A little bit later in today's show, we're going to get you kind of set for the weekend in college football. And we will also talk a little bit of NFL as well on the show. Speaking of NFL, last night, Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Packers put them fangs on them 35-14. Yeah. Yeah. 35-14, and the Bears go down. And let's be honest about it. Mike Glennon, quarterback for the Bears, I mean, he absolutely sucks. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. He sucks. I think he had one decent game. It may have been last week. Statistically, though, just not getting it done. He's a backup quarterback. He's a backup quarterback and has been a backup quarterback for a reason. Coming out of North Carolina State, Tampa Bay thought that he could possibly be the future quarterback of that organization. It didn't work out. He's a backup quarterback. I say they need to go ahead and put Mr. Trubisky in there. Why not? Kind of for the same reasons that I've always said, put the young up and coming, highly drafted quarterback in there to get him some reps. Like Deshaun Watson, I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a good thing for Deshaun Watson, what's going on with him down in Houston. They throwing him in the fire. My old man used to always talk about when they were kids, they literally learned how to swim by getting thrown in the deep end of the water. Now, several of his friends and his cousins died. That shit ain't funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. Yeah, several of his family members and friends, they lost their life. But the people that did learn how to swim were great swimmers for the rest of their life. Right. Shit. Put him in there. Put him in there. I've always believed in that, man. Even back in the day, I hated it when Steve McNair went to Houston at the time and then to Tennessee with Jeff Fisher, and they made him sit out. Who was he behind? I can't remember who the quarterback was, but he was behind whatever quarterback, and they wanted to save him. Jeff Fisher didn't really even like Steve McNair in the first place. And so I hate that, man. Put him out there. Put him in there. Let him see live bullets. You're never going to be able to duplicate, the real game action on the bench. And let them make mistakes. Like, you don't expect them to come in there and take you to a Super Bowl, which is very possible for Houston, by the way. But let them, take their lumps, see live bullets, go out there, get better. Once again, the speed of the game. And I think the teams will be better off. Man, go ahead and put Mr. Trubisky in the damn game and see what happens. And on the other side of that, the best quarterback in the game, I believe, I've been saying this for many, many years, ever since they probably won their first Super Bowl, are Aaron Rodgers on the other side. Balled out of control last night for the Green Bay Packers. I believe they're 3-1 right now in the season and playing decent football. They got a ton of injuries, occurred a couple of injuries last night as well. But Packers, man, when you got that guy at quarterback, when you got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, this dude, man, you talk about throwing darts. That dude, man, is a straight, incredible quarterback, man. And so Packers get a big win last night on Thursday Night Football in the NFL. Let me read some of these messages from Holly N. Holly N says, and I'm actually on YouTube right now. She says there's a disconnect between the masses don't experience inequality and injustice. They don't want to hear minorities complain. Basically, their mentality is get over it. You have it good enough, right? That's what a lot of people's mentality is. From Julius 35C, why do people need Kaepernick to say something? You already know what the problem is, so why do you need him to regurgitate the same thing? I agree. From Julius C again, says everything they're saying about today's protest, they said to MLK and civil rights protesters 50, 60 years ago. Praise his holy name. You get a hand clap for that. I've talked about this many, many a times on my show. History is not going to fare well for people that were outwardly outspoken about this protest. Just like the example Julius C. just gave. You don't want to be George Wallace on the courthouse steps in Alabama trying to stop kids or trying to stop kids from getting a public education. You don't want to be that guy. At the time, I think most of America probably agreed with George Wallace and his racist stances, okay? But now you look back 35 years later, and you're like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that. I mean, the governor of Alabama had those appalling thoughts about, social injustice and racial equality in this country. So history is not going to fare well for a lot of people, like the people on Facebook. follow me on this now. The people that you see on social media that are burning these jerseys and burning these tickets, that video is going to be out in the atmosphere forever. Because remember, the people that are burning their jerseys and burning their tickets online and videotaping it or whatever, they're mad that people are protesting social injustice. They are mad. In effect, listen, I have to break these things down. The way it can be perceived and the way I see it is the people that are burning their jerseys and their tickets or whatever online that is being caught on videotape. Those people, in effect, are saying that I am mad that you are protesting a black man getting shot and killed. Some bullshit. It's probably going to be more so perceived in the future. All right? Follow me on this. And so you got to be very careful, man. Probably the greatest example
My name is Barack Obama. My mother was born in Kansas. My father was born in Kenya. And I was born.
Lil Moot, I was born, Nixon was head of state. I remember Watergate, Roe versus Wade, Skylab, they launched the space station. Daylight savings, our response to the oil crisis. Blacks still fighting for rights, though they said we had them. When Hank Aaron for the Braves broke the Babes record, the biggest name in New York then was Rockefeller. Bill Gates, when he put Microsoft in motion, SNL made his debut, along with the Wheel of Fortune. Carter voted in, I had a crush on Carrie Fisher. Star Wars the feature, she's the one who played Princess Leia. Home computers were made, New York City blacked out for a day. Elvis Presley passed away. Atari 2600 changed the game up. It's strange now how we got the PlayStation and Xbox. It's kind of funny, you don't miss it till it's gone. When it's gone it's too late, but for now I was born.
Tonight, more than 200 years after a former colony won the right to determine its own destiny, the task of perfecting our union moves forward.
I was born, the fall of the Soviet, the genocide in Kenya, the first World Trade attack, they topped that with 9/11. I seen the shuttle blow, heard how a sheep was cloned. China got Hong Kong back, we had a desert storm. Panama got its canal, Bush took us to hell. Fidel stepping down, Columbine, Virginia Tech. I seen the European Union, Oklahoma bombing, Saddam Hussein's execution when he lost his power. Johnny Carson retired, then he died. Katrina made Kanye cry, so did I. A princess died, Y2K was a lie. Janet Jackson showed her titties during Super Bowl halftime. Apartheid's divide in South Africa ended. The dirty wars for independence down in Argentina. Clinton's impeachment, OJ's glove, Anna Nicole Smith. I was born, I witnessed this.
This country has more wealth than any nation, but that's not what makes us rich. We have the most powerful military in history, but that's not what makes us strong. Our university, our culture, are all the envy of the world, but that's not what keeps the world coming to our shores. What makes America exceptional are the bonds that hold together the most diverse nation on earth.
I was born, the Great Recession, Barack Obama won the election, Truman the Ford, the death of 5 presidents. I seen diversity a second time for Obama. Those who kept the promise kept hope inside the White House, beacon like the Outer Banks lighthouse. Inauguration day was cold as shit, but gave me something nice to write about. Thought about my great grandmother, how she used to say a black president boy would never live to see the day. And she did, though she died before his second term. I know she up in heaven now, looking down, checking on those in the struggle, in the bubble, no room to breathe, whose souls are lost in the rubble down in Haiti. Bible Belt victim, she cried when the tornadoes hit them, just like she did when Mandela came home from prison. All her years living, did she consider this? When I'm dead and gone, I can say I was born.
I believe we can keep the promise of our founder. The idea that if you're willing to work hard, it doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from, or what you look like, or where you love. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white, or Hispanic, or Asian, or Native American, or young or old, or rich or poor, able, disabled, gay or straight. You can make it here in America if you're willing to try.
I don't care who's first or who's last.
but I know you better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby.
I'm on Delta flights, overseas overnight. Touch London, Batiste call up the Muslims. Brothers struggling, Sudan to Dublin. Racist hatreds bubbling, dudes is bugging. America ain't no different. The Johns pimping bitches. Republicans no rags, just riches. Little kids pronounced dead upon arrival. They shooting in Chicago, selling drugs out in Monte Carlo. It's called the have and the have-nots. They invest in stock. We buy a watch, life's a crap shot. Raised Baptists, taught to live for life after. Nowadays, new chapter, kids grow up faster. Young girls worship Menage, give them massages. Sex trades got them old dudes the hardest. The laws being disregarded. Cars parked in the darkness. If my shoe fits, then walk a mile in it. No scholarship, more loans for colleges. Chicks on the poles doing tricks, that's where the dollars is. Some proud of this, others wanting out of this. The U.S. government printing dough that's counterfeit. Awarding Nobel Peace Prizes the whole country. Starve the hungry, the rich discard the money. Sacrifices, let's all jack the prices. Kill the soldiers, react by fighting. Most enticing, you to kill what I'm writing. Because of a few, what they do quite frightening. Too many potholes, the system is hostile. From Gladys Knight chicken and waffles out the Roscoe's. Okay, that's East Coast, West Coast, you asshole. It's like Monopoly, but you can't pass go. The pass holds a clue, there's no dispute. We almost meet our moment of truth.
Come on, come on.
One time like, okay.
Welcome back to the show. All right, so we had a little technical difficulty, but it's all right. Just a little something. It's all good. Hey, welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. And, man, all day has been dominated by Trump NFL protests, man. So it's actually perfect that we have on our next guest, man, one of the authorities on this type of conversation. Joining me right now on the Doug Stewart Show, man, is ESPN columnist, writer, Howard Bryant.
I've never received applause before.
I'm sorry?
I said I've never received applause before. This is something.
Right. We give you the raw treatment on the Doug Stewart Show, Howard.
Right? I'm just sitting here about to work on a chapter. I get applause? I feel
exactly.
I'm inspired to work right now.
Right. We're talking to Howard Bryant right now on the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, Howard, thank you for coming on, man. I know you're probably a busy cat all over the place on ESPN and its different platforms. So I specifically wanted to have you on to get your thoughts on everything protests, anthem protests. You actually had a conversation with Colin Kaepernick recently, a couple of hours conversation where he kind of got everybody up to date on him and his thoughts about what's going on right now. What are your thoughts on this protest that we've seen in the NFL since Colin Kaepernick started it over a year ago?
Well, my feeling is that we are in a pretty critical time right now, especially for the players. I am not one of the people who looked at what happened last weekend and thought that this was a good thing for the players. I was not one of those people who said, hey, look, there's Arthur Blank, and look, there's Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder all locking arms with the players. I thought that the more that this went on, the more it distracted people from the issues at hand. I thought the more it took power away from the players. I thought that the players are in a very interesting point where I'm not sure that with all of these different gestures taking place, that they have a sustained and simple ideology about why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I've noticed that, and I'm starting to hear more people agree with you now. Like it's gone, pretty much off the track. It's almost cliche right now.
Exactly. When was the last time you had a revolution that included the owners?
Right. Exactly. And you're right. It's pretty much cliche. The locking, the linking of arms. Someone said that it's almost like the ice bucket challenge at this point. The point of the initial protest from Colin Kaepernick has been totally lost.
Well, what does it mean? And I think that even if you take a look at the protest from Bruce Maxwell in baseball, he mentioned a little bit about what Cap was doing, but he was really talking about the president. So now we've got this protest that has morphed from Sandra Bland and Eric Garner and Michael Brown, and now it's suddenly about DACA and about Muslim bans and about something else. And I think that these things happen. I mean, movements do take, they do shift. It's like a river. They do change as time and as events move forward. But I think that the thing that disappointed me most is when you're looking at what was said about the players. You call the players SOBs. That takes place on Friday. And on Sunday, the conversation and of the owners being part of this, nobody even mentioned, one, they didn't mention Colin Kaepernick at all.
Right.
And two, even the players don't seem quite to know what the end game is here. I listen to them and I'm trying to follow along here, and I'm thinking, you guys don't have a sustained ideology. You don't know why you're doing this. And I think there were two things that really hit me that I'm very concerned about. One is by having the owners be involved, you've allowed the conversation to shift to what they're doing instead of what you're doing.
Right.
And two, you have a contentious relationship with these people. You have a contentious relationship with them over CTE. And let's not forget that one of the things that the president had said was that in a time when we're learning about what this game is doing to these black bodies and these brains of all these players, he's saying that the game's not violent enough. And two, you have a contentious relationship with ownership over discipline, as we saw with the Ezekiel Elliott suspension. So you've got DeMaurice Smith calling Roger Goodell a liar 3 weeks ago, right? The last thing that the owners want is a united player front on this issue too, because you've got a CBA coming up where everyone's already talking about a strike or a lockout. So to let the owners co-opt your movement and your message does not help you at all.
Talking to Howard Bryant right now, ESPN writer, columnist on the Doug Stewart Show on this fantastic Freaky Funny Football Friday. I want to touch back and kind of end the conversation about what you just talked about, the end game. But before we even get to that, you made a very good point in talking about the union. I thought about it recently. I'm very surprised that the union has been very quiet in support of Colin Kaepernick. Clearly, the guy has better skills than every backup quarterback in the NFL. He should have a job in the NFL, and he hasn't. DeMaurice Smith has been, very quiet about this, and the union as a whole has not shown a lot of outward support of Colin Kaepernick. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you're 100% right. And I think that even on top of that, when we talk about sustained ideology, why are we doing what we're doing? One, if the owners had been serious about supporting the players on this protest issue, somebody gets on the phone and calls Colin Kaepernick and says, hey, let's play ball. Let's see what you can do. That didn't happen, which tells you that this was all for show. Secondarily, you have Michael Bennett and Malcolm Jenkins and a lot of players petitioning the commissioner to get them involved in some sort of movement with the players without including Colin Kaepernick. So right now, it looks like what you're doing is you're asking for support from the very people who are blackballing the source of this movement.
Right.
And so to me, you can't have it both ways. If you want white support or if you want corporate support, that's one thing. Go out and find it. But I don't think you can get it from that source, because right now the message is, it looks like you're willing to sell out Colin Kaepernick for the NFL support. And that doesn't send them the right message either.
100% right. We are finishing up with Howard Bryant, ESPN writer on the Doug Stewart Show. By the way, before I even get to the last question, Sports Reporters, one of my favorite shows of all times, is Gone the Way of the Dinosaurs. You frequently appeared on that show. How was it doing that show, man? And talk about the fact that it's no longer on an ESPN staple now.
Well, it was the one thing for all the things that I do, the books that I write and the stories that I do and all that other stuff, being on that show for 11 years was the one thing where people, that was part of their routine. That was part of their Sunday morning thing. That was those bedrocks of your schedule. So for people to sort of appreciate the show the way they did, I really really liked that. I was very humbled by that. And also, when you do what we do in this business, Doug, in your business as well, there are Everests, there's that Mount Rushmore of your business. And to be part of that show was a sign that maybe you had a little bit of ability and they liked what you did.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I go all the way back to Dick Shapp, not Jeremy, but his daddy, Dick Shapp, back in the day. All right, so let's put a bow on this thing. End game for this protest in the NFL, protest that we're seeing from athletes now in baseball. We're going to see what happens this year at the start of the NBA season. Adam Silver has come out very strong and saying that he expects the players not to protest in any way. What's the end result? I for the last week, I've done a couple of interviews, and my thing is, we need to push the narrative forward. The narrative should be police reform. The narrative should be policy and procedures with encountering black men in America on the street. How does this thing end up?
Well, if you continue to allow the Adam Silvers and Roger Goodells and Daniel Snyders and Jerry Joneses of the world to control this, it's going to end very badly for the players, and it's going to essentially erase Colin Kaepernick. You already saw the Sports Illustrated cover where Kaepernick wasn't even on the cover.
Right.
But Roger Goodell was on the cover, so suddenly he's a symbol of unity. This is bad for the players, and I think with the end game, you really talk about what you have to do. As long as they have allowed this narrative to revolve around the flag and around patriotism, the players lose. The players are allowing this fight really to be taken to them. They're allowing all of this to be shaped in a way that they chose not to have it shaped because they don't have enough leadership. I really wonder how much text messaging and how much conversation is taking place between the Michael Bennett's and the Marcus Peters and the Malcolm Jenkinses and the Martellus Bennett's of the world. I mean, are they coming up with a cogent strategy of how to keep this on message? The longer they stay off target, Colin Kaepernick's going to get erased, and we won't even be talking about police reform or any sort of honoring of the black men who have been shot. It'll all die.
Wow. Incredible stuff, man. Hey, Howard, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, my pleasure. Nice T-shirt. I'm loving it.
There he is. Howard Bryant right there on the Doug Stewart Show. And he's exactly right. The narrative has just been hijacked. He's exactly right. The narrative has just been hijacked. And this is what I've been saying over the last couple of days is they got to get back on script. They do need to talk. They do need to have an answer for the questions about the protest. They need to say, well, it's not about, once again, our disdain or whatever for the military. This is about Sandra Bland. This is about Philando Castile. This is about Alton Sterling. This is about Anthony Smith. This is about Anthony Hill. This is about Eric Garner. And this is about Michael Brown. This is about all these different people that we can come up with on changing policy with our police. So great stuff. Thank you to Howard Bryant. So we're scheduled. Are we ready to go to the next guest? We had a little technical difficulty a little bit earlier. And so we actually got behind a little bit, but we're back on track right now. So we're scheduled to have another guest on. My man's $100,000 in them here in a second. Are we ready? Yeah, you hear it in the background. DJ Shakim. Spectac. Yeah. Hey, Sha, what up, baby?
Louis, what's going on, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. Right now, joining me on the Doug Stewart Show is DJ Shakim, DJ for New Edition, as well as a bunch of other things. I love the shirt. Dream big, then wake your ass up and do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, so thank you for coming on. First of all, man, for people that don't know, a lot of people watching right now, they know us. They know our history.
Exactly.
We go back 25 years. You were a freshman at South Carolina State. What year?
91.
You were a freshman in 91. So in 91, I was like a sophomore. So you were a freshman. You started really DJing like 92 from what I remember, though.
Well, yeah, right around 92, yeah. I was 91, I was there, but I wasn't there. 92.
Right. And so one of the things that I did as president of my chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity is we sought out DJs and we hired people and we did all of that. I think, and I tell people to this day, and you don't correct me. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. I think I'm the first person to give you a job on the yard, bro.
You know what? You might be for paying. You probably were.
Right.
I did a lot of free stuff.
Yeah. So you've been DJing now for a long time. First of all, let's talk about the very beginning, man. When did you, I guess, kind of like the movie, when did you fall in love with hip hop? How long have you been DJing? Man,
I started DJing when I was 11. So
wow.
That was, 33 years ago. Before just turned 44 in July. So 33 years ago, that's when I fell in love with the art. My father took me to a concert, and just the irony of the concert, the lineup was Shannon, Run DMC, and New Edition.
Ooh.
So my first live concert was with the people I'm working with currently.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I didn't come to the show to see them. I came to the show to see Run DMC.
Right.
And then I saw Jam Master Jay, and I said, that's what I want to do.
Wow. Praise God. We're talking to DJ Shakim right now. He just mentioned it. DJ for New Edition has been. How long has it been you've been with those guys? Probably a decade, right?
Yeah, it's knocking on 10 years now. Yep.
Wow. And so you've been all over the country with these guys, man. And you just talked about it, seeing them as a kid. I remember seeing New Edition as a kid at a concert. And now all of the big things in the career that they've had, man, it has to be incredible. How did you hook up? Let's back up a little bit. And we are talking to DJ Shakim on the Doug Stewart Show, featuring his music all day long with Spectac, freestyle extraordinaire. Yes. How did you hook up originally to work briefly with So Def here in Atlanta?
Okay, after I left South Carolina State, I came to Atlanta and I was teaching English for a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, at East Cobb Middle School. We don't.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Right. So I taught English for a year and a half, and I ran into a guy named Mel Testamark, and he worked at So Def. He was Jermaine's head of promotion at the time. And he called me and said, hey, man, we're having a DJ battle, something. They want you to come out. And I said, when is it? He said, July 4th. I said, well, I have a party in New Orleans. I can't go. I can't make it to the battle, but I'll give you my tape. Literally, it was a cassette. That's how long ago it was. It was a cassette tape.
Right.
So I gave him a cassette tape, and apparently he gave it to Jermaine, and Jermaine heard it and said, hey, get that guy in here. And, it was all through Mel Testamark. He put it all together. So, I started working with Jermaine, and we did a couple of samplers, the Hardball sampler for the movie Hardball, and a couple of samplers. And my manager, what happened was, DJ, let me back a little bit. DJ Nabs was the Bratz DJ at the time.
Right.
He was going on tour with Nickelodeon. I don't know what it was, but he asked me, Juice, his manager, Lucy Raouf, called me and said, hey, Shakim, Nabs is going out. We need you to fill in for Brat. This is on a Wednesday. I said, cool. When's the show? He said Friday. I said, cool. Well, where's it at? It's a European run.
What?
I said, Juice, I don't have a passport. She said, Shakim, don't worry about it. And Thursday at 5 o'clock, I had a passport at my doorstep. Friday morning, I was in a limousine on the way to Hartsfield Jackson to go to Europe with Brat. So we come back after the tour. The last show was in Ohio, and Bow Wow's mother was there. She just happened to be there. She saw the show, said, hey, I like you style. I got a son. He signed with Jermaine. He's just coming on with the woo.
Wow.
I'm like, cool, no problem, and it just, I was still teaching at the time though. I was still teaching. So I told a friend of mine, Glenn Clark, I said, Glenn, he asked me, what do you do on the side? I said, I DJ a little bit on the side. He said, I said, well, Bow Wow, a little bit. I said, but you can't tell the students, because they problem, but I'm sure they know him, so you can't tell the students.
Right.
Said, don't worry about it, Shakim. I got you. So the bell rings for the next period. Mr. Hicks, yes. I heard you work with Bow Wow.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, Mr. Clark, I just told you to tell nobody. He said, yeah, I couldn't resist. So it just inspired him to that. My manager at the time, Brian Johnson, 3 Johns Entertainment, 3 Johns Multimedia, he just put all the pieces of the puzzle together, signed the contract, and we were off and running with Bow Wow from his inception until right around 2007, 2008. And it just transferred into New Edition. You know, I used to play ball with Ronnie.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold that story. I got a question, intermediate question before the New Edition stuff. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We're talking to DJ Shakim. I know how it is because I was here at one point in my life where I had a job, but I had this radio thing going on. My wife was like, you better not leave your job. That pays the bills. That puts food on the table. And then I took the leap of faith. Like, at what point did you say, I'm going to leave my job that I went to college for, obviously, teaching, and try to pursue this DJ thing and go on the road with Bow Wow?
That at that time when Mr. Clark told the students and they came back to me, that's when I realized how big this kid was. The record didn't even come out yet.
Oh, so you didn't know how big of a buzz Bow Wow had.
Right, he didn't. Right, it was like it was there, but it wasn't because he didn't even put a record out yet. Not his own. He had a record off of the Big Mama's soundtrack. I can't remember the name of this song, but it wasn't Bounce With Me yet. Bounce With Me didn't even come out yet.
Right.
So, and I said, okay, that's the time. So school was over in May, and I looked in the mirror and said, man, look, it's either now or never. You know.
Wow.
Shut up. So I said, I'm going for it.
Beautiful. All right. So where'd the connection happen with New Edition, man, that you once again have been with for like close to a decade now? How'd that happen?
Okay. I used to play ball with Ronnie 2004 when I was still with Bow Wow in Kennesaw. This is when he lived in Kennesaw.
Right.
We played ball. We never talked about music ever. Never talked about music. Never. He knew I was. I knew who he was. And that's all it was. So right around 2006 or 7, New Edition was just getting back together, and they were going to do their first concert in quite some time. Ironically, it was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Right. So
my manager, Brian Johnson, again, big guy, letter dude. He knew Michael Bivins, and he told him, hey, I got a DJ and da-da-da. So Biv said, hey, come on out. We'll bring you to Columbia. We'll roll you out in the middle of the stage, and you do a party set while we go and change, yada, yada, yada. Cool, no problem. So we did all that. We did the show. The show was incredible. That was the first DVD taping of their live performance, and it was in Columbia, South Carolina, ironically. And from there, Mike said, hey, we need you with BBD. And I said, no problem, because New Edition, that was a one-off show. There was no tour coming. It was just one show, one DVD, and that's it. So I stayed with Bell Biv DeVoe at the time, and then New Edition gradually started getting back together in 2011. It all came back full circle, and they said, hey, we can't go without you. And I said, I don't want to miss this.
Right.
It just all made sense. And, ever since then, we've been rolling, man.
There it is. Rest is history, as they say. All right. So before we let you out of here, man, we are talking to DJ Shakim right now on the Doug Stewart Show. You follow me on social media. Once again, we've known each other for like 25 years. You know how I love my hip hop. Now, you're originally from the Bronx, or you're from Jersey? You're from Jersey, Queens?
I'm from Queens, yes.
Right. So we old school. I mean, you were around the same age as me. So we grew up in the golden era of hip hop, man. Right. And on my show, I'm going to ask you one sports question before we get out of here too. On my show, man, I rail about this music today, man. This mumbo shit. I don't get it. What? I understand for your business, you have to stay relevant. You have to know what was hot.
Right.
So you kind of in a rock and a hard place where you came through this tremendous era of real lyricists and real musicians to now what we have today with Little Yachty and Cardi B. Like, how do you feel about that, man? How do you feel about music today, hip hop music today in particular?
I think mainstream music, I'm really not. I'm first of all, I'm not mad. I'm not hating on anybody. Young fella, young lady, get your money. We've had our people in our time that weren't so lyrical. So
right.
So we've had those. So the Little Yachty's and the Cardi B's. Hey, I salute y'all. Get your money. Me personally, there's great music out there. Now, will it get played in the mainstream? That's the big question. So you have people like Nick Grant, who's from South Carolina. This guy is literally the next Nas / Jay-Z / Jay Electronica. Like, the kid lyrically is out of here.
Right.
There's several other cats out there. Of course, you got Little Brother, and like there's a lot of cats from Carolina that's just crazy with it, man. So I'm not mad at the music today. I understand my kids listen to it to a certain degree. I kind of got to shelter them with some of this stuff. I don't know how radio even getting away with playing some of the stuff on the radio, honestly.
Right.
Words and language and content, but that's another story.
Right.
But, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I may not like it, but it doesn't mean I'm hating it.
Right, right. Finishing up with DJ Shakim right now on the Doug Stewart Show, on the DougStewartShow.com. So tell me about the relationship with Spectac. So for people that don't know, I think I remember Spectac like hanging around the yard back in the day. Yeah. Am I right about that?
Yes. Spec used to be. Spec is from I want to say he's from Holly Hill.
He might be. That's it. Because, I grew up, or not grew up. I actually had roommates that were from Holly Hill. A bunch of guys from Holly Hill, South Carolina.
He's from Utahville. That's
same thing. Holly Hill and Utahville, same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
you hooked up with him?
I hooked up with him. He went to Benedict College. And, we had a whole little crew, my Spec, Vern Lodge, Geechee Rob from Charleston, Red Rum. Like, we had a whole crew. And, he knew a lot of people I knew from Queens. Ironically, he just knew them, and they worked together. So we did a show at the Township, 96, 77 maybe. It was Wu-Tang, Nas. It was a great show. Wu-Tang, right. Nas, and somebody else. And my guys were there, and it was about to be a fight. I don't know what happened, but somebody was about to knuckle up.
Of course, it was gonna be a fight.
and I came over, and I'm like, "Yo, chill, Spec." And we're looking, I'm breaking up my man. I turn and looks like, "Yo, Van." He's like, "Mike?" Like,
right.
Like,
right.
Yeah. So it was just natural. So, throughout the time, Spec started teaching as well. He's in the education field, and he called me there and said, "Hey, it's time, it's time. We, got to make music." And he felt the urge. I just started making beats at the time. So I said, "Let's do it." And we recorded the whole thing in my house, the whole thing, mixed, mastered, everything in my house.
Wow. Finishing up with DJ Shakim right now, the Doug Stewart Show. So before I let you go, I got to put you on the hook. All right. I got to ask the question. Top 5 MCs of all time, Sha. Top 5 MCs of all times. Your top 5 MCs of all time. Rappers of all times.
Okay. In no particular order. No order.
No, bro. We need you to put it in order.
Okay. Well, number 1. Woo, you put me on the spot, Doug. Oh man, number 1.
All right. Because of the politics of the thing, don't put them in order. Just give me your top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nas.
Right.
Jay-Z.
Uh-huh.
This one might shock a few people. Busta Rhymes.
Ooh.
Wow.
I can't believe you haven't done this 1,000 times with your boys.
I have, and it changes every time. Right. Because it's just.
So no Biggie, no Rakim, no KRS.
I'm sorry, Rakim.
Okay.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Rakim.
Uh-huh.
KRS One is right on the cusp. He's maybe 6.
Uh-huh.
The last one, I mean, bar for bar, you kind of can't. You can't leave out Eminem, man. Like bar for bar.
Wow.
Just bar for bar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's a killer now. He's a beast. He is a beast. Yeah.
You really can't. You can't knock him. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but right there, then you got KRS One, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane. Like, right. The top 10 is thorough.
My producer Rob is smiling from ear to ear. You put the white guy in.
Yes, Rob. Yes. That's for you, baby.
Hey, so Sha, check it out. We've been playing your music all day long. We got to get out of here. We've been playing the music all day long. You and Spectac, man. Where can people buy the album? Is it on iTunes? And where can they find out about Shakim? You got a website or something like that?
You can go on iTunes. The album is called For the People. Spectac and Shakim, SPECTAC and Shakim. It's called For the People. It's on iTunes. It's on all the mediums where you can buy music.
Yeah.
You can reach me on Instagram, DJ Shakim, Twitter, DJ Shakim #1. We're doing a lot of things, man. And for all the New Edition fans, be patient. It's coming.
That's what's up.
I promise you, it's coming.
Yeah. Hey, so I'll see you in Orangeburg in about a month from now, right?
Absolutely. Right. About a month. 30 days from now. Yep.
There he is. My man, DJ Shakim. Sha, appreciate it.
No doubt, brother. Be good. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
care who's first or
Yeah.
who's last.
All right.
But I know you better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby.
All right, so we're going to take a quick little break. Am I right about that, Rob? We're going to take a quick little break. We'll come back. We'll try to get the show lined back up to the schedule. Read some of your messages in the chat room. Got to get to this college football, this NFL football. Special K comedian extraordinaire coming up a little bit later. Don't go away. Back in like 2 or 3 minutes. The Doug Stewart Show.
Just riches, little kids pronounced dead upon arrival. This industry got me gassed up, Chevron. The ball cleaner MC if he headstrong. Fans wanna hear, giving me air like Elron. Love my city like Jeezy, put my cell phone. Love the homegrown, top shelf Patron. Rob Sterling, Twilight Zone, when my mic's on. Rambling rep like Georgia Tech fight song. Cockroaches MC scramble when the lights on. The fight's on, folks say that he mighty strong. Words like a weapon, peak the muscles in his right arm. Take the form of a poem with a beat to it. When the twin powers activate, form street music. LeBron and Wade, we just bring the heat to it. Starving for music, niggas sit down and eat to it. Some blew it, but that's not how we do it. Time to shed light so you niggas can see through it.
To give you light. I come to give you light.
So colorful, so bright, so full of life. I just might go out tonight if I'm still feeling right. ATL, homegrown, next to the Georgia Dome. Highlight factory, front row with a jersey on. That's how I kick it, and when I spit it, I'm vicious with it. I'm so meticulous by spitting, you are a witness. I'm in this, just having fun with the snare and drum. Using the craft to spread love, then I'm out one. But where I come from, we stay till the job is done. Battle tested, I ain't stressing cause I've always won. I saw the sun, open my eyes, share what I find. Words to help open your mind, inspire your grind. Become refined, cause we all get better with time. I'll be spitting lines and forming rhymes till the day I die. I'm never questioning why, just know I shine bright. Know I was born to share my life, I come to bring you light.
Born in Kansas.
Yeah.
My father was born in Kenya.
That was dope.
And I was born.
That was dope. Yeah. The world's heavyweight champion of sports and Guy Talk Radio. You are listening to the Doug Stewart Show, man. Man, we had a little snafu earlier, but we worked through it like pros. We are pros around here. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Can I get the mothership to turn down a little bit? Mike, here we go. So we are back on the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-822-5467. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Shouts out to Howard Bryant. I knew those interviews would be great. If you're a sports fan and you follow the Puppet Factory, which I call ESPN, you've seen that cat before, man. Real deep brother, man. Very smart, very thorough. And then for my hip-hop heads out there, so this show is kind of a mixture between sports, guy talk, hip-hop culture, pop culture, and all of that stuff, man. So it was great to have my boy, my folk, DJ Shakim on to come on the show. That was real good stuff. Don't forget, if you like for us to continue to have great guests like Howard Bryant and DJ Shakim, you can donate to the show. Don't act like that. Now listen, I'm going to put on my Creflo dollar here. Today is Friday. I know y'all got paid today. If you can throw your boy in the Doug Stewart Show and Two Live Shoes Radio, $5, $10, $25, $2,500, $5,000, $50,000. We will take it gladly. We have expenses around here. We have an overhead issue. Okay. Yeah. We have an overhead issue. So trust me, man, if we get this thing going, man, if we can get some sponsors in here and more listeners, man, we can do a whole lot more than we're doing right now. And I think what we're doing right now is phenomenal. All right. 404-822-5467 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I got a quick second here, man. We're about to get into this football talk here in a while. College football, NFL talk as well. And we also got to get to Special K later on in today's show, too. Quickly, I wanted to mention one of the other big stories this past week in the world of sports was the Cleveland Cavaliers and Dwayne Wade signing with the team. He's part of the Ball Peanuts nominees, the Buster of the Week in sports entertainment and beyond, because he gave back $8 million to the Chicago Bulls. But let's look a little bit deeper into it, man, for a quick second here. I'm a huge NBA fan, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, they got better. Like, I don't know if a lot of people are paying attention, man, but they got better. Theoretically, here's how the starting five of the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to look this year. At point guard, you got Isaiah Thomas once he comes back from this injury, which he's not going to be right. They're saying until January. He's got a busted hip. So, theoretically, when Isaiah Thomas is healthy, he'll be the point. At the two, they're going to save Dwayne Wade all year long. Dwayne Wade may not play 30 basketball games. He may play more games, but it's going to be very, very minimal minutes. So they're going to save him for the playoffs. So you got Dwayne Wade at the 2. You got LeBron, King James at the 3, obviously. Kevin Love at the 4, and Tristan Thompson at the 5. There's this talk out there as well that there may be this trade between Cleveland and New Orleans for Boogie Cousins. Now, I don't understand what assets Cleveland has to trade for Boogie Cousins. I don't care how many damn picks that they give away in the future or whatever. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's out there. So let's just say they got Tristan Thompson. That's a better team than they've had the last couple of years. And I'm a Kyrie Irving fan, but that is a better team than they've had the last couple of years. Now, the problem with this team is they old as Methuselah, and that's going to be an issue. You guys may pull something. They may have these little nagging injuries all year long because of the age and how much basketball they played. But if they are healthy, that's a pretty damn good squad. Coming off the bench, you got Derrick Rose and J.R. Smith. You also got Kyle Korver still there, Jay Crowder, and then Channing Frye as well. So I think, as much as a fan of Kyrie Irving that I am, I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers actually are a better basketball team now than when they had Kyrie Irving in that lineup that they've had the last couple of years. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Yeah. What are your thoughts? All right, 404-822-5467. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. When we get back from the break, man, my favorite part of the show on Fridays, I get to play some music from the Marching 101, South Carolina State University's band, as we talk some college football. Yeah. So, when we get back from the break, we'll talk the 4, I guess, more interesting college football games this weekend, in my opinion. We'll kind of break those down, and then we'll jump back in the chat room on YouTube and Facebook Live and hear what y'all got to say about any and everything that we've talked about today. Okay? All right, so a lot going on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-822-5467, 404-822-5467. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. Do not forget to go and vote for this week's Buster of the Week in sports entertainment and beyond. All right. Ray Lewis is nominated. Rick Pitino, Odell Beckham Jr., Dwayne Wade. Those are your nominees, and we'll give out the Buster of the Week award, the Ball Peanuts Award, a little bit later on in today's show. As a matter of fact, like the very end of today's show. All right. So we will do that. But don't go away. Back in 3 minutes, the Doug Stewart Show.
The task of perfecting our union moves forward.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Cheesy, what's good, kid? We're gonna get this started right. I'm feeling this. Yeah. And yo, this whole world is backwards. Rich kids flipping their taxes. Republicans, they dropping their axes. Latinos denied their access. And little black boys in the hood, damn, we so ass backwards. Ask Iverson, this just practice. Fuck around, we'll be right back when every black had masters. And I ain't talking about degrees, you damn bastards. Talking about chains and whips and slave ships. Overseas trips, no frequent mileage. But we feel good cause we graduated college. But did we apply the knowledge? If all we can come up with is love and hip-hop and this garbage, Kardashian her ass again. Not a real fake ass, just ass injections. But that's how we do, just ask your fake friends. Hit the gym like Kim, then chase the black men. Hard to swallow, take these facts in. AIDS still killing us, they got a vaccine. The prison ain't full enough, they got us back in. But you're so stupid, you fall for that again. Believe me, this is done by design. How can we run so fast and be so far behind? So close to dying, so hard we stop trying. Black president still got major problems. We used to fight the power march cause the right was ours. But now we fight our own brothers like there's no tomorrow. You know they gang bang, bloods and crippin'. A shame when the graveyard's a playground for children. You know they gang bang, bloods and crippin'. A shame when the graveyard's a playground for children. Shit. Let's ride out, kid. Basically, what's about to happen right now is Shakim and myself.
Yeah.
Last project.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. On this fantastic, freaky, funny football Friday. DJ Shakim earlier, Howard Bryant, and we still got yet to come. My man, Special K, comedian extraordinaire, to the Doug Stewart Show. All right. The number is 404-822-5467. You can also email us at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. I wanted to get into some college football, man, back kind of to what we are here for, and that's sports talk for the most part, man. We've been talking a lot lately about a lot of political type stuff on the show. At some point, I wanted to mention celebrity birthdays today as well, and a very interesting story about the nature boy Ric Flair. Ric Flair probably done had sex with your first cousin. The nature boy Ric Flair, man, gave his count as far as women that he has been with in his life, and it's very Wilt Chamberlain Lane-ish. Right, it is. But right now, man, let's talk a little bit of college football, man. The 4 biggest games coming up this weekend. And here you have in the background my alma mater. South Carolina State University up in the house, baby. Yeah. What you know about neck? Yeah. All right, so first and foremost, the North Carolina A&T Aggies travel to South Carolina State University this weekend. Shut up. This is a big game. The home of Tariq Cohen, running back for the Chicago Bears, and home of the great Robert Porsche and Deacon Jones and Harry Carsons at South Carolina State play together this weekend, man. The Aggies versus the Bulldogs. They're actually both Bulldogs. But that's what goes down this weekend in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Shouts out to my alma mater. Damn it. All right. So some other action that you may be interested in this weekend in college football. How about the Miami Hurricanes, man? Mark Richt and his Miami Hurricanes traveled to North Carolina to take on the Duke Blue Devils. That's right. Right now, Miami is 2-0 and Duke is 4-0. Miami, because of Hurricane Irma, doesn't have the full slate of games played thus far like a lot of other teams do. And so they're 2-0 on the season once again, and they travel to North Carolina to take on the Duke Blue Devils. Blue Devils 4-0. Miami has beaten Bethune, Cookman, and Toledo. So no one knows what Miami is right now. We'll probably see this weekend as David Cutcliffe, the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils, has them playing fantastic football over the last couple of years. So Duke has already beaten North Carolina Central. They've beaten Northwestern. They've beaten Baylor, who's been a good football team over the last couple of years. And they've beaten the North Carolina Tar Heels. That's right. They are 4-0. The Duke Blue Devils have never been 4-0 in my life, I believe. And so they're playing great football once again. David Cutcliffe, the head coach there at Duke, has been doing a phenomenal job. The Miami Hurricanes are still, though, a 6.5-point favorite on the road. It is Miami, and they are Duke. Their players are more concerned about studying than the Miami players are. True story. Yeah. And so Miami is still a favorite, 6.5 points going to Duke. The game is on ESPN, 7 p.m. Eastern time on tonight. Your early game, your Friday night game tonight on ESPN. Game number 2 of my Funky Four, the 4 biggest games this weekend in college football. You have the Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Tennessee Volunteers on the road in Knoxville. Yeah. The Georgia Bulldogs on the road taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. CBS, 3:30 p.m. kickoff tomorrow, Saturday. Jake Fromm still doing his thing, man. 43 for 69, 650 yards, 7 TDs, and 1 interception instead of Jacob Eason, who's been hurt from the start of the season. And the Tennessee Volunteers, man, right now 3-1, take on the 4-0 Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs looking real good this year, especially defensively, man, and not making a bunch of crucial mistakes on the offensive side of the ball and getting these wins. So Fromm has been doing his job. Nick Chubb's been balling out of control as well as Sony Michel doing big things for the Bulldogs. Once again, Georgia on the road taking on Tennessee in Knoxville. The spread on this game is the Georgia Bulldogs by 2.5 is what I'm looking at right now. Some impressive wins on the road for the Georgia Bulldogs, beating Notre Dame, as well as getting the big win at home against Mississippi State. So there you have it. Georgia on the road taking on Tennessee. That's game number 2. Game number 3 in my Funky Four biggest games this weekend in college football, listening to the Doug Stewart Show, watching the Doug Stewart Show, is Ole Miss on the road taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. What I want to see out of this game is if the Alabama Crimson Tide continue to dominate like they have all year, literally over the last 15 years under Nick Saban. So, Ole Miss on the road, taking on Jalen Hurts and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama has dominated thus far once again this year in wins over FSU, Fresno State, Colorado State, and Vanderbilt. You know, nothing really to write home about. Some of those teams suck. But it is Alabama. It is Ole Miss. It is the SEC. Alabama is favored in this game by 27.5 points. I know. Should be a real sleeper, but it is Alabama. I want to see the dominance. And the biggest game this weekend in college football, and you are watching the Doug Stewart Show on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, is the Clemson Tigers on the road taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Yeah. So Kelly Bryant from Clemson, man, taking over at the quarterback position for Deshaun Watson, man, has been playing fantastic. As the new quarterback. 74 for 109 attempts, 873 yards, ton of touchdowns, a couple of rushing touchdowns as well. They take on Jack Jackson and Virginia Tech Hokies, who are 4-0 as well. So it's a classic ASC or ACC battle as Clemson on the road taking on Virginia Tech. Clemson has beat Kent State this year. They've also beat Auburn. They beat Louisville, as well as they've beaten Bethune or Boston College as far as their undefeated record. And Virginia Tech wins against Delaware, East Carolina, and Old Dominion, as well as a good win at the start of the season versus the West Virginia Mountaineers. So this is clearly the best game on the slate this weekend, as you do have the Clemson Tigers taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies in Blacksburg. Clemson, 7.5-point favorite. And there you have it, my Funky Four, the four biggest games this weekend in college football. Clemson taking on Virginia Tech. Ole Miss taking on Alabama, SEC battle. Georgia taking on Tennessee. And the Duke Blue Devils hosting the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah. Coming up next, we'll kind of breeze through the NFL and talk about some of the games coming up this weekend, some of the bigger games in the NFL, the National Football League, this coming Sunday. All right, 404-822-5467. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. I guess this is probably as good a place as any. Talk a little bit of entertainment. I had a couple of birthdays that I wanted to mention today on the show. We do this every day on the Doug Stewart Show. Celebrating his 28th birthday today is Kevin Durant. That's right, NBA baller for the Golden State Warriors. Boiled Peanuts Award recipient last week as he showed mass sensitivity. Yeah. Kevin Durant turns 28 years of age today. Happy birthday to him. It doesn't even matter about all of the other stuff. Still happy birthday to the young man as he turns 28. Also today, celebrating his 31st birthday, man, is Georgia native, Metro ATLian, Calvin Johnson, former wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. Yep. Calvin Johnson turns 31 years of age today. Happy birthday to Calvin. AKA Megatron, former Detroit Lion wide receiver. I think will be in the Hall of Fame one day at some point here very soon. Also, JoJo Simmons, Russell Simmons' oldest boy, turns 27 years of age. Happy birthday to JoJo Simmons. Devontae Swing from the Jodeci fame turns 47 today. Yeah. You know, Devontae and Dalvin. Devontae turns 30 or 47 years of age today. Happy birthday to him. And I think that is it. I don't think we have any other birthdays today. If you got a birthday coming up or an anniversary or something like that, shoot me an email at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. We love giving birthday shots out, man. We look forward to giving birthday shots out, all right? So that's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. There you have it. One last little bit of news in the world of entertainment, man. Ric Flair is half the man that Will Chamberlain is. Here's what I mean about that. Ric Flair, in an interview, part of this 30 for 30 that comes out in a couple of months about the Nature Boy Ric Flair, wrestling greatest wrestler of all times, in my opinion. Ric Flair says that he has slept with over 10,000 women in his lifetime. What? Right. That man says that he has slept with over 10,000 women in his lifetime. I mean, he is a nature boy, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine ride, son of a gun. Yes. Flair is 68 years of age. So if he started having sexual relations at 15, let's just say, we're talking of an average of 188 women per year. Kiss all the girls and made them cry. That's right. We're talking 188 women a year or 3.6 women per week. I don't know where they're going to, if they should count the 0.6 person, that's not even a real person. But yeah, the Nature Boy, man, the reason they said half the women or half the men that Will Chamberlain is, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show and watching the Doug Stewart Show, is because, remember, Will Chamberlain said he slept with over 20,000 women in his lifetime. Yeah, exactly. So there you have it, man. The Nature Boy. Come on and ride Space Mountain. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit of NFL, as well as we'll get ready to talk to Special K comedian extraordinaire. All right, back in 3 minutes. NFL Talk, the Doug Stewart Show. Fantastic, Freaky, Funny Friday. Yes, sir.
All right, so basically what's about to happen right now is Shakim and myself, we really felt compelled to do this last project, or this project I should say, not the last, because hopefully it's more to come, but we really felt like this was something the people's been waiting for, that people have sort of been crying out for, you know, without literally crying out, obviously, but this one's for the people. You know, you think about the heads that came up in that golden era of hip-hop, you know, call it what you want to call it, the 90s, you know, 93 for Infinity, all that other good stuff, you know, late 80s. This is for them, you know, for the young cats that have the courage and the sense to pay homage to the music, for the cats that are digging up this good stuff and saying, how can I reinvent it? Because that's what it should be about. Should be about taking that music and reinventing it in a way where it's bringing a positive change to the culture. And that's what we're missing right now. So it's not to like throw a diss out to anybody that's doing what they're doing right now, because it's not like we didn't have our stuff that was kind of sideways even in those days, but it's a little unbalanced right now. And I think that's what brought us with this project, is the fact that it's unbalanced, and we're trying to bring some balance back to the game. So with that being said, Joe, it's for the people, by the people. Spectac, DJ Shakim. Let's go.
Chips are down. Chips are down. When the chips are down. When the chips are down. Chips are down. Chips are down. When the chips are down. When the chips are down. Chips are down. When the chips are down. Chips are down. When the chips are down.
That dude was 40 with his hat to the side, black on black ride, had fire in his eyes, cracked a smile, he made 25, some said he should have died, but against the odds he survived. Mary Shelley Frankenstein, the doctors yelling it's alive. We don't want him circumcised, let him loose, he'll hurt our wives. We were told these lies, King Kong up on their empire. State building, hate children, make millions. If you play sports good, you can even marry European. We're all human beings, the scales don't weigh us equal, no justice, just a black and brown fist for the people. They got us doped up, hoping that we sleep through the nightmares right here, 6 cents. I see white people, some of them want us back in states of submission. Hate to see our ambition, rather vicious, want us all in prison. But I stay driven by the truth, we're all brothers and sisters. This ain't just for a few, it's for the people.
Chips are down. Chips are down. When the chips are down. When the chips are down. Chips are down. When the chips are down.
Let's go. With this mic, I'm ready to, but head to, fuck around, dead to, tell us who said to, tell it going on like me, yeah.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Happy Friday to you, man. Make sure you hit the little contribute, donate little button, man, if you can, so that we can keep this party going on the Doug Stewart Show and the Two Live Stews Radio Network. All right. Anything that you can donate, we will appreciate it. Contribute. We put it to good use. I don't spend that money on anything outside of business transactions for the show. Keep people employed and overhead and all of that stuff, man. So anything that you can donate, man, we really, really would appreciate it. The number to the show is 404-822-5467. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. In about 15 minutes, we're going to talk to comedian Special K. And don't forget, you can still vote. We're going to give you the outcome of the voting for the Buster of the Week in sports entertainment and beyond. Ray Lewis was nominated for kneeling, but then not kneeling. He's somewhere in between all of that. Rick Pitino, head coach of the Louisville Cardinal, says he has no idea that coaches and players and everybody was getting paid under the table, just like he didn't know that there were a bunch of holes in the dorms. Keep forgetting, you may not get that reference if you're tuning into the show on YouTube or Facebook Live for the first time. So a while back, Rick Pitino and that program at Louisville came under fire. There was a madam that said she routinely sent escorts to the dorms to provide entertainment for the players and the recruits. They ultimately, on some of these different parties, as they called them, ended up having sex with the players. That's right. This went on for a couple of years. And Rick Pitino said he had no idea this was going on. I didn't know. I'm shocked just as much as you. Yeah, right. Odell Beckham Jr., he mimicked a dog peeing like on a fire hydrant in the past weekend's game. Here's the thing about that. It's not that big of a deal. And you're listening and watching the Doug Stewart Show. It's not that big of a deal, but the problem is Odell Beckham Jr. is hot right now. He's been hot for the last couple of years since he's been in the NFL, really. With little controversies here, going to boat parties and being in Miami on his off day and all of that stuff. And then the thing about it is the NFL has kind of loosened the reins on celebrations, which is a great thing. But this has already been done before, and it was frowned upon when Randy Moss did this probably 10 years ago. When the Green Bay Packers were hosting the Minnesota Vikings, Randy Moss mimicked pulling down his trousers and taking a dump and got all types of flack for it. Got fined by the NFL. Remember, that's a straight cash homie comment. And so Odell knows better. And I don't know what's going to happen, but he knows better. He was nominated, and Dwayne Wade was nominated simply for giving back $8 million to the Chicago Bulls. No black man in America gives back $8 million. I don't give a shit what they've made in the past. So we're actually voting on that right now on the Doug Stewart Show Facebook chat group, as well as the Two Live Shoes Facebook chat group. I'll give you the nominations or the results later in today's show. So quickly, the 4 games that I'm looking most forward to this weekend in the NFL. Game number 1, the Oakland Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. Yeah. So you're a sports fan. I'm assuming watching this show, you're a sports fan. You watch football. Last week, man, the Raiders looked horrible against the Washington, D.C. football team in a tremendous loss that, most people pegged them as the better team in winning that football game last week against the Redskins. They came across country once again. They had done that a couple of times already this year. Big L to the Washington, D.C. football team. Now they're taking on the Denver Broncos. It's in Denver, 4:25 p.m. Eastern time on CBS this Sunday. So they lost to the Washington, D.C. football team, but the Raiders have wins already against the Jets and the Tennessee Titans. I talked about the cross-country trips that they've been taking early in the season. And the Denver Broncos, man, have wins already thus far against the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, a loss against the Buffalo Bills, and the Los Angeles Chargers. So Denver -3 in this game at home. You expect that. So the Raiders on the road, David Carr, Marshawn Lynch, and that great defense, Khalil Mack and those guys on the road taking on the Denver Broncos. There's still the verdicts out on both of these teams. So this is going to be a good indicator of how good these teams are in this early NFL season. Game number 2 of my 4 biggest games this weekend is the Houston Texans hosting the Tennessee Titans. Yeah. So the intrigue with this game, man, is David Watson or Deshaun Watson. David Carr, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, his second start in his young career for the Houston Texans, man. Big win in their first game out where he actually got some action. Tough loss last week against the New England Patriots. So Deshaun Watson right now, 49 for 80, 528 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Okay, but this is what you expect out of a rookie quarterback. And you're watching the Doug Stewart Show on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. going against another young starter in the NFL, Marcus Mariota out of Oregon, who's 6,400, 698 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception on this short early part of the season. So you've got the Titans on the road taking on the Houston Texans, 1 p.m. Eastern time on CBS. The Tennessee Titans are favored by 1.5 points. So it's Tennessee minus 1.5. Interesting. And I guess it's all because of the quarterback, the newness to the NFL, Deshaun Watson is, and they expect him to make mistakes. So the Houston Texans getting looks like 1.5 points in the second big game this weekend. The third biggest game this weekend for me is the New York Football Giants on the road taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eli and Jameis. Speaking of Odell Beckham Jr., you got Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr., who are 0-3 right now, taking on the 1-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you got some big names. You got Eli and Odell Beckham Jr. and Jameis Winston. You want to see what he does early in I believe this is his 3rd year in the NFL. So big matchup, NFC matchup, 4:05 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. The Giants on the road taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, the biggest game this weekend, the game I'm most interested in, is the Buffalo Bills here in ATL, Shawty, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah. Tyrod Taylor, Shawty, who's been doing damn good for my fantasy team. Tyrod Taylor, man, and the Buffalo Bills come to town. AFC, NFC matchup as the Falcons right now, one of the only remaining undefeated teams in the NFL, 3-0 right now, taking and hosting the Buffalo Bills. All right. So Falcons in this game favored by 8, dynamic offense, one of the best offenses in the league, clearly. And defense kind of struggling a little bit early in this season, but they clearly can get it back together. A couple of injury issues for the Falcons. No Vic Beasley, still out with that hamstring injury. But the Falcons, man, the second home game this year at the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The big TDSS weekend tailgate going down at the Georgia Dome right by Vine City train station. Come and holla at your boy. My brother's going to be hanging out tonight at 617 Cigar Social Club. He will be hanging out tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're going bowling. And Sunday, once again, the big tailgate at Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the Bills come to town, and all of the Stewies are in town as well. Yes.
What's about to happen right now is
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. 4 biggest games in the NFL this weekend. When we get back from the break, my man, $100,000. The unofficial. Right. We gotta watch Special K, the unofficial comedian to the 2 Live Stews and the Doug Stewart Show. Now main contributor to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. See, he graduated. He graduated from the Stews to Ricky Smiley, but it's all good. We're gonna talk to Special K for that funny part of your Funny Friday. Back in 3 minutes, the Doug Stewart Show.
This industry got me gassed up, Chevron. Cabal, Crane, MC if he headstrong. Fans wanna hear, giving me air like Elron. Love my city like Jeezy, put my cell phone. Love the homegrown, top shelf Patron. Rob Sterling, Twilight Zone, when my mic's on. Rambling rep like Georgia Tech fight song. Cockroaches MC scramble when the lights on. The fight's on, folks say that he mighty strong. Words like a weapon, peak the muscles in his right arm. Take the form of a poem with a beat to it. Wonder twin powers activate, form street music. LeBron and Wade, we just bring the heat to it. Starving for music, niggas sit down and eat to it. Some blew it, but that's not how we do it. Time to share life so you niggas can see through it.
To give you life. I come to give you life.
So colorful, so bright, so full of life. I just might go out tonight if I'm still feeling right. ATL, homegrown, next to the Georgia Dome. Highlight factory, front row with a jersey on. That's how I kick it, and when I spit it, I'm vicious with it. I'm so meticulous by spitting, you are a witness. I'm in this, just having fun with the snare and drum. Using the crowd to spread love, then I'm out one. But where I come from, we stay till the job is done. Battle tested, I ain't stressing cause I've always won. I saw the sun, open my eyes, show what I find. Words to help open your mind, inspire your grind. Become refined, cause we all get better with time. I'll be spitting lines and form rhymes till the day I die. I'm never questioning why, just know I shine bright. Know I was born to share my life, I come to bring you light.
To give you light. We like the Grand Masters, yo. To give you light. See, I come from the era where it ain't about your image. Got the heart to pack a biscuit, can't be scared when you spit it. The lyrics what we living, sitting at my mama's kitchen, sketching pain on the paper as the tears blur my vision. Hip-hop was the prescription that was written for my sickness, so I mixed it with some liquor, then gave birth to an addiction. But if you ever bear witness to some of the shit I've been in, then you would that I would.
Let's go. With this mic, I'm ready to, but head to fuck around. Hey.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. For the young people watching right now, see me do my little dance. That's the WAP. That's a 1984 dance. Maybe 1989 dance. Not sure. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show on this fantastic, freaky, funny football Friday on YouTube and Facebook Live. All right, so the funny part of Friday, joining me right now on the show, live on Facebook and YouTube, is the unofficial comedian to the Two Live Stews and the Doug Stewart Show. Special K, Decatur in the house, Black Tony in the house.
Yeah, what up, boy?
Yeah. Oh,
what's going on, Doug?
I see. You up in your little fancy Ricky Smiley studio and whatnot, huh? You see me in here with this half-rate studio, scrounging, asking people to donate $1 or $2, and you in your nice little cushy studio, huh?
Yeah, we're in the palatial confines of Radio 1 Atlanta Hot 107.9 studios where we broadcast from every morning to over 70-something markets, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know, folks.
70. I don't know. 77 markets, huh? And right now we got like 42 people watching this show, huh? It's like that. It's like that, huh? 70 markets. 70 markets.
You got to take a step down to remember where you came from, man.
We are talking to comedian Special K on the Doug Stewart Show. That's right. He is a frequent contributor. How many days a week do you do Ricky Smiley? Are you there every day?
First of all, let's get it straight. I'm not a frequent contributor. I'm a member of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. 10 years this year.
You actually get a paycheck from them?
Yeah, I'm an employee. I got insurance and everything. I'm an employee, bro. I'm employed by Ricky.
I thought Ricky just let you come and hang around a little bit, man.
No, I've been a part of the morning show for 10 years. I'm one of the producers of the show. I'm one of the members of the morning show crew. And do you not look at our website? Do you not look at all the promotional material?
I don't look at the websites. I'm sorry. I listen to the show.
Right for the show. I mean, dude, I'm part of the machine, man.
Right. You also, I looked at your bio. You also are listed as a writer for the show, and you also do other writing, comedy writing. Yeah, talk about that a little bit, man.
I'm the comedy writer for the show, and I'm part of the morning show, man. That's what I do. Do I need to show you my paycheck stuff?
No, you don't need to do that, man.
Can a brother have a job? Can a brother have a job, man?
Hey, I'm very proud of you, bro. I mean, all jokes aside, very proud of you, man. You a hustler in the truest sense. You've been doing and calling in radio shows for a long ass time, even before we started in 2001.
Yeah. I started like in 96, I think. I was calling in shows, and that's how I got my first little gig. And then I started, working with a couple of different people. As a matter of fact, our executive producer here, Hollywood, he used to be at V103 when Frank Ski was over there. And I used to go fill in over there with him because me and him go back 20-something years. And then we both ended up over here. So, I mean, you know, nobody cares about that history. But, you know, it's where I'm at now, and it's what I'm doing, you know, and I'm still doing my stand-up thing. I'm doing big things, man. I'm moving out here in these streets, man.
Talking to comedian Special K on the Doug Stewart Show on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So I know you're busy, man. So where have you been lately? What do you got upcoming as far as your comedian stuff, your comedy stuff?
Lately, the last couple of months, man, I've been on the road with Sherry Shepherd. You know her from The View. I've been on the road where I've been.
Wait a minute, Sherry Shepherd is a comedian?
Yeah, she was a comedian before she got on The View. That's how she got on The View.
No idea. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah, comedian, actress before she got on The View. And so she hired me to help her with some writing and, you know, kind of put her stage show together. So I been doing some writing with her. We've been out to about 5 or 6 different cities. Most recently, we was in St. Louis a couple of weeks ago, and then we were in Seattle the week before that. And then I'm doing my own thing. I just back in October, I shot a 30-minute special for Kevin Hart's LOL Comedy Network.
Oh, okay.
It's an online app that he's doing with in conjunction with Lionsgate, and that's I think that's available now. I think my special is supposed to start airing sometime in October, so that may be available here real soon. You can check that out, Kevin Hart LOL. And what else? I'm getting ready. I'm headed to New York tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be performing at Caroline's with TK Kirkland, and actually the Breakfast Club is doing a show at Caroline's tomorrow for TK, and I'm his special invited guest for that show for some other projects that me and him are working on together. So, you know, we just shaking and baking, man. We got this thing moving over here, boy. Yes. I don't know, man. We moving.
Talking to comedian Special K right now, the Doug Stewart Show on the DougStewartShow.com. So talk about your Atlanta Falcons. I need to get your thoughts on this, man.
Man, I'm still sick. I'm still sick. I'm still sick. Hey, man, February 5th was my 9/11, bro. I'm telling you, man. That I ain't got over it yet.
Right.
I have not got over us winning half of the Super Bowl. I ain't got over that. I'm not happy about it. I'm not good with it. I haven't moved on. I'm still angry. It ruined my Super Bowl party. I ain't happy about it because you only get one chance to take down the king. I wanted to take down Tom Brady. I don't like Tom Brady. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like Boston. I don't like the Northeastern United States. I don't like the Red Sox. I don't like the Bruins. I don't like nothing about none of them. I don't like Robert Kraft. I don't like Trump. I don't like nobody associated. So I'm not happy with the fact that we had one chance. Losing that Super Bowl, it's like you got one chance to bang the hottest chick in high school. You got one shot to get her while you in high school. So it don't matter if you get her later on down the road. It don't matter if we win next year. You know?
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
you got one shot. One shot to be great.
Right.
You got one shot to be great. I can't deal with it.
For people that don't know, so we had on Lav Love last week, and Lav Love's from Decatur, right? Or Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
You're from
Lav
Decatur.
Around the corner.
Yeah, you're from Decatur. You actually grew up, went to the same high school as Chris Tucker and all of them, man. So you're a life.
I'm bro.
Yeah. So it's gotta hurt.
I'm Decatur all day. What'd you say?
I said, so it's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt deep to the core.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just I can't get past it. I'm not even, and I find myself I'm not even into the season as much as I would be if we had won last year. I'm just waiting on the playoffs, man. I'm waiting on the NFC Championship game to see how we're gonna rectify this thing. That's what I'm waiting on. NFC Championship game. That's what I'm waiting on. Because anything short of that, what's the point?
Right. Got you. Finishing up.
What's the point? I don't root for nobody else. I don't care about nobody else but the Falcons.
Right. Finishing up with Special K right now, the Doug Stewart Show on the DougStewartShow.com. All right, so there's been a lot of interesting topics to talk about in the world today, man, especially in this country. A lot of it's politics.
What I want to know, Doug. Hey, here's what I want to know. Why we gonna sit up here and act like R. Kelly ain't holding hostages in Chicago, man? We just know that we ain't gonna back to R. Kelly hostages, bro. He holding hostages, man. We got wedding receptions going on tomorrow. They're gonna be stepping in the name of love like ain't nothing really going on. Like he ain't got. They stepping in the name of love. He got chicks scratching out. Help me on the upstairs window in the fog, trying to get out. Man, we gonna act like this ain't happening. So you get Grammys. You can take.
I'm not an R. Kelly fan for that reason exactly.
Gonna act like nothing, and we're gonna act like Khloe Kardashian didn't grab another NBA player. Come on, man. We're gonna act like them Kardashians ain't still knocking down NBA players, man.
Left and right.
I'm saying it's too much. It's too much. I can't. They have screwed more black men than the justice system. I'm saying it's just the Kardashians' vaginas are sponsored by Adidas, dog. It's just too much. It's too much athleticism going through that family, man. They done screwed so many black men. They're honorary financial advisors, bro. They done screwed so many athletes. We gonna act like Donald Trump ain't the president. We really gonna act like America has not just given up on the presidency, bro. Donald, come on, man. The presidency ain't even serious no more, dog. It ain't even serious. Next year, we're going to be voting on The Rock and Howard Stern as the Democratic ticket. I mean, come on, bro. This ain't... I think Donald Trump going to pull the mask off at one of these press conferences and reveal that he's really Charlie Sheen. There's no way in the hell this man is the president, man. You got to know something. I ain't saying you got to be the smartest dude in America to be the president, but you need to be in the top 2 million.
The top
Come on, dog, really?
The top 2 million.
Yeah, the top 2 million at least. We gonna really act like ain't none of this going on.
Hey, Special K.
We gonna act like Cosby ain't being tried again for a crime that he committed during the Vietnam War. Come on, bro. I'm not saying that date rape is cool, but it's got to be a statute of limitations on this. Bill Cosby, he date raped them women back when Morgan Freeman was a teenager, and you know that was like in the early 20s, bro. Look, come on now. They gonna lock Bill Cosby ass up. Bill Cosby getting locked up. You know why? Because OJ getting out. We gonna give you one and we gonna take one away. But we gonna act like ain't none of this going on. Man, I better go ahead. Don't get me started. I'm here to stop, man. I'm stirred up.
Hey, bro, I gotta go, man. I can't even function right now.
I'm not even playing, man. Wake up, America. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. I ain't even playing. I got a 6-figure income with a 3-digit net worth. What's wrong with that, man? That math don't add up. I ain't happy. I'm not happy. That math don't look right. I'm voting for whoever eliminate overdraft fees. Wells Fargo tripping, man. I got to pay $205 to get back to a zero balance. Man, get the hell out of here.
Hey, bro. Well done, man.
Can't be legal.
Well done. Hey.
I'll let your boy, man.
Yeah, there you have it. Special K for people watching right now and probably crying like me.
Yeah, on Instagram. Get it right.
Say it one more time. You broke up a little bit. Where can people find Special K at online? Yeah,
Special K913 on Instagram. Go to Karl Douglas on Facebook. That's Karl with a K. And Special K913 on Twitter. And if you over 60, just send me your home phone number. I'll call you. And I'll talk to you because you ain't online. You too old.
Special K, comedian. Appreciate you, boy.
Deuces.
There he is, Special K, comedian extraordinaire on the Doug Stewart Show. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we get your Friday going on this fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. He walking out of the studio. I can see him just walking out of the studio. Leave the meeting, bro. Leave the meeting.
Oh, man.
There you go. There you go. We get a little extracurricular act. Man, go ahead, man. Who you?
I'm trying to get out, man. Damn.
Damn. Shit.
I'm trying to get out.
What's the matter? Is he a ghost? He's a ghost. Hey, good stuff, man. Comedian Special K on the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, man. You ever laugh so hard, the back of your head, them little knots on the back of your head be hurting? That's how hard I was laughing just now, man. Good stuff. All right, when we get back, we're going to give out these ball peanuts and wrap up today's show. The Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away.
Full of life. I just might go out tonight if I'm still feeling right. ATL, homegrown next.
I won't let you go.
You know when you say you love me, I say I love you more. Just call when you need me, girl, and I'll be sure. They say it's half empty, you say it's half full. Your hair's all natural, you're my little rascal, but weak with your afro. Stress-free, no hassle, so much better than a lot of these assholes. Life pleasures, share them right now and forever. How clever, just you and me together. Chicks be sweating like they just did Pilates. All the fellas wanna kick it like they just did karate. Your body's the hottest with the mind of a goddess. Always remain modest, never make a fake promise. Caribbean trips take you down to St. Thomas, Negril, Jamaica, Nassau, Bahamas. Whoever said that we gotta take it slow, girl, knowing what I know, I'll never let you go. Girl, when we in New York, Central Park is your favorite. Out in LA, season tickets for the Lakers. Hold on tight, girl, let's see where this'll take us. Top notch exec, you're your own money maker. And when we hit the A, sundown with the top down. From Phipps to Lenox, hit the W, Midtown drinks. My place, sit by the fireplace. Champagne and grapes, both hands round your waist. I wouldn't be a man if you didn't feel safe. It's your eyes, it's your thighs, it's the smile on your face. That other guy cashed out and I cashed in. Now he's a past tense, has been ever since. No looking back now, it's just looking forward. To family, friends, things way more important. Whoever said that we had to take it slow, girl, knowing what I know, I'll never let you go.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, shouts out to Tiffany Poodle in Portland. Contributed to the show. Thank you very much. Yeah. Shouts out to everybody that's contributed to the show, and you can do that. There's a little graphic that we flash on the screen every once in a while where you can donate to the show. We'd appreciate it. Makes everything easier around here, man. You get some quality content like Howard Bryant and Special K and Shakim on a Friday. Get you ready for your weekend. Yeah, get you right. Once again, if you're having issues with your credit and your finances, man, check out my folks at Financial Education Services. All right. That's Financial Education Services, FES. They've got this $89 a month credit restoration plan. They've got a bunch of other products as well, like LifeLock, FES Protection Plan, Living Trust, Wills, etc. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. All right. That's important. These are some good people. So A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call at 404 if you're in Metro Atlanta. And I think maybe they can go nationally as well. But 404-207-6526. That's 404-207-6526. Or check them out at kennedydeals.com. All right. Yeah. All right. it's that time of the week where we give out ball peanuts. Peanuts taste better boiled.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to begin our study of the male erection. We are adults. Now, I want everybody together to go ahead and say, penis, penis, penis.
Peanuts taste better. Peanuts taste better. Peanuts taste better boiled.
Come on, y'all, say it.
No, man. Peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts. 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 I don't get it. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. I don't get it.
Come on, y'all, say it.
I don't get it. All right, so make a long story short. I'm from the low country of South Carolina where we have a very distinct dialect, okay? Some people say that we sound like we're from the islands. We have an island accent or whatnot, man. And sometimes listeners to my show, which is Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time, say that, they can't understand what I'm saying. And I talked about boiled peanuts one time on the show. Peanuts. Boiled peanuts are a delicacy in the state of South Carolina, in the low country. And some listeners said that they didn't understand what I was saying. They thought I was saying something about a boiled man's parts. It's nothing of the such. I was talking about boiled peanuts. And so we decided to give the Buster of the Week in Sports Entertainment and Beyond the Boiled Peanuts Award. So your nominees this week for the Boiled Peanuts Award are Ray Lewis, who took part in the protests and then said he didn't take part in the protest. He was praying and this, that, and the other. So Ray Lewis was nominated. Rick Pitino, basketball coach at Louisville, for all of the shenanigans going on with this FBI investigation. Plus, he knew damn well they had holes up in that dorm. Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver for the New York Giants, has been nominated for a Boiled Peanuts Award, and Dwayne Wade was nominated for a Boiled Peanuts Award for giving back $8 million. What black man? Not necessarily even what black man. What man, period? What person? What human being gives back $8 million willingly to go play with his girlfriend? I'm sorry, his boyfriend. His boy, LeBron. That's neither here nor there. So he's been nominated. This week's Buster of the Week in Sports Entertainment and Beyond is resoundingly Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, you need to be in or out, brother. People have spoken. You are this week's Buster of the Week in Sports Entertainment and Beyond. Here's the crazy thing about it. We talked about this on the show on yesterday. And how Ray Lewis, there's been a petition started, and it had at the time like 35,000 signatures from Baltimore Ravens fans, I guess maybe Ray Lewis detractors, that wants his statue at Raven Stadium pulled up. Right. So Ray Lewis has been straddling the line. A lot of people even say he's been cooning lately. As far as this issue goes. And so Ray Lewis has been adamant that Kaepernick's been going about it the wrong way and the guy shouldn't kneel, and he actually does it, but he says he doesn't do it. And the Baltimore fans are just instantly forgetting what Ray Lewis did for that organization his entire NFL career. And he came back and tried to explain himself to those people. And 35,000 fans, pull up the damn statue. Right. Just pull it up. That much vitriol shown towards Ray Lewis. So, hey, man, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, I guess, in his regard. And definitely on this day, he is the Buster of the Week in Sports Entertainment and Beyond. Yep. Hey, phenomenal day, man. Listen, if you're new to the show, here's a couple things I need you to do. I need to put you to work right now. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, make sure and hit the subscribe button on YouTube so that whenever we go live on YouTube, you'll get an alert. And also hit the little bell for YouTube as well. Hit the little alert, the little subscribe button, and there's a bell that allows you to get the alerts on your phone or whatever device you're watching from. All right, so make sure you do that if you're watching on YouTube. Also, hit the like button if you're watching on Facebook Live. And also, make sure that you understand that you can donate to the show any and every time that you want at the DougStewartShow.com's Facebook live chat group, okay? So make sure you do that and pass the word. So if you're in town this weekend for the 3rd year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show, I will see you tonight. Don't forget as well, this is big, I almost forgot this, is that we do a show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the audio platform, okay? So go to the DougStewartShow.com as well. I know I'm giving you a lot of different instructions. Go to the DougStewartShow.com, and there's a tab at the top that says Become a Premium Member. It's only $4 a month, and we get real loose. We actually get more loose than we do on the video platform. But become a paying member, a premium member, and it's $4 a month. It's, once again, taken out of your account, safe and secure through PayPal, and real easy. You can do it in a couple of seconds, all right? So hopefully we'll get this done again next week with another great show. We've already got a couple of great guests already lined up for next Friday. All right, so it's going to be another great show next week, Friday. A lot going on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to my man, Shakim and Spectac for all of the music today. Yeah. DJ Shakim. Check out the album on YouTube or on iTunes. All right. For the people. DJ Shakim and DJ or MC Spectac. All right. Make sure you check them out. Shouts out to Special K, comedian extraordinaire. You did your thing today, boy. That's what's up. Yeah. As well as the ESPN columnist, Howard Bryant, who came on the show earlier today. Fantastic job. Thank you, Howard, for your contribution. Shouts out to my man, Pink Gator, for the hot music that we play at the end of the show, which is coming up here in a second. Shouts out once again to Rob Hix at the Mothership in Washington, D.C. That's right. Great job, Rob, as usual. Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, engineers to the show, as well as Poe Politicking and my man, Waterhead Walter, assistant producers to the Doug Stewart Show as well. All right. So shouts out to all those people, man. If you can, come on out tonight, 617 Cigar Social Club, downtown ATL, as we are celebrating the 3-year anniversary of the show.
You gonna eat your beans and cornbread?
But all right, this is George Dr. Fungus.
Yeah. The 3-year anniversary tonight gets kicked off. The meet and greet. 617 Cigar Social Club, downtown ATL. Come and holler at your boy. Buy me a drink. All right. Make sure you share today's episode. Share today's episode. All right. We would appreciate it. All right. So we'll be back Monday on 2liveshoesradio.com and back next Friday on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Hope you had a good time, man. See you in the streets. Be careful.
Let's go. With this mic, I'm ready to behead you. Fuck around, dead you. Tell me who said you. Had it going on like me, nephew. Long time coming, yo.